introduce yourself, followed by Steven. Switch up your character to Freya, name-wise at least, please, and Hart, and then we'll introduce Shiro as the story progresses, if that's okay with you, Shiro.
That's fine.
All
I
right.
am Valara Arendisa Thorson, Juror Scout and on a fighter class. Um, I've already covered the frozen north, down through the Dragon Pass into Iladara, crossed over the northern part of this lower lands,
Swarthier?
Or Sorthier.
Swarthier, and just recently crossed into Eldrasar. It's just kind of a stopping point to another place.
Alrighty.
And
What place are we going?
I'm not exactly sure, but Hart knows.
Hart.
I am Hart. Hart helps fixing. Today,
Hart,
we fix the world.
Nice. Freya.
What was the question again?
There was
Who
no
are
question.
you?
Who the hell are you?
Just name
I am
crossroads.
Freya Fireheart, a proud elf chief of the bears peoples and of the I can't even say the D word. The elf.
The DL. So actually, you're now in Indarin.
Dan!
No, he joined the Indarin, remember? You're now
I'm
in
in
Indarin.
there. Yeah, in Darn there. I mean, that's what I was trying to say. In Darn. Well, I'm still part of the KIF. I don't stop being part of them.
Well, no. I totally got the honor of honoring the Kith, but I was referring to dealing with the fact that you're a Dayan elf. You're no longer Dayan because you were adopted, if you will, by the Anandran. So
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
oh my God, he
In
gets
Darn.
adopted by everybody.
he is. He's so cute and cuddly, like those puppy
He's
dogs. of
he's
his.
the anti-orphan. He started as an orphan, and now he can't stop finding parents.
That's right, exactly, and he is the anti-orphan, and that's actually his agenda is to actually help every orphan out there because he's understands.
Silly Shiro. It's a matter of keeping him under control, her under control. So everybody that
What do you
sees
mean?
her,
What about you?
everybody that sees her needs to, instantly becomes his parent so they can control her.
We're all red
Oh.
veil around Freya.
More Orangevale, though.
Alrighty, so Shiro, what did you have as a character that you were wanting to play?
I do like Gatorade, though.
I don't know
Okay.
exactly.
Fair enough. Do you have a preference for a race?
I
Human,
like
elf,
small
dwarf?
things.
Small things. Well, we don't
So
have.
like,
We have but one dwarf, and we have one peekaboo who's not here. She's a
No.
halfling.
Oh, halfling.
I
Oh,
usually pick halflings or gnomes or on occasion dwarves.
okay.
Rarely anything taller than I am. Cause
You
like,
should be a Grim.
what's that?
That's a dwarf. That's a dwarf. There are two types of dwarves on Nycos: the Grim and the Grund. The Grund stayed near the surface and made nice with the humans when they came. The Grim kind of receded back into the mountain and don't have much to do with them.
No,
Yeah,
when they
yeah,
do,
yeah.
they enslave them.
They have
You're talking.
technology
You're talking
that's
ancient
very
history.
powerful.
You're talking ancient history, Valara.
I know.
Okay.
Oh,
I didn't know it was ancient history.
it's not that ancient.
Anyway.
We did just ride in on
Well,
one of their trains.
So what I will do is I will throw some opportunities for you to jump in as one of the NPCs, and if you want to take one of those spots, just say that's the one I want, or if you want to flesh out what you'd like to play more, that's fine. The mechanical requirement is that you'll be starting at level 1 D&D 5th edition, and you'll earn experience points every session. I don't benchmark until you catch up with everybody else. Otherwise, they benchmark when they accomplish goals.
Okay.
That way, the higher level guys tend to hold out at the same level longer and let you guys catch up.
That's kind of cool.
Thanks. So, also, it lets you play, like I said, a part that hasn't even fully developed that I've already got going in my head, which makes it easier for me to transition you into the group. So, as it is, they're going to be starting with going to talk to the Nimblewrights, and there are several of the little people that work there. So that might be an angle from which you consider.
For now, until further notice, I would like to just like observe and like flesh out my character.
Fine, fine.
Okay.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Like I said,
Thanks.
anytime you want to jump in, actually, I will give you another posit. If during
Okay.
the game session, while everybody else is talking, you chime in and say something really useful, you're starting then. I don't care. We're done. We figured out how to get you into the story.
We don't need it fleshed
Which is
out.
I love participation. So if you're participating, you're playing. I don't. We'll figure out how to
Okay.
make that work. So even if
Oh,
it's
and just for prurient interest,
Yeah.
I'm a forge-ish cleric. She's a fighter, and Freya is a
Wild mage.
sorcerer.
Wild sorcerer.
an obvious ad would be for you to play a gnome artificer, but that's up to you.
Artificer.
That's what I'm playing in this campaign.
Oh really?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
an artificer. Fighter in the other campaign.
And I'm an alchemist in that game because I wanted to do a healer.
Oh nice, nice. That's kind of a return
Hey,
on it.
we could use a healer. We don't have a healer among us.
I heal. I have healing arms.
Yeah.
Hart spent a lot of time figuring out which arms to take so that he could help people.
I'm a Swiss Army man.
Quite literally.
You
No,
said
no
that
magical healing, no divine healing, but
And we got a bunch of stuff.
he's pretty
What
good.
game
Okay, Miss
look at.
Gunn.
And you
I'll
guys
worry
all-
about divine healing later.
And you guys all talk over each other, so it makes it really tough for me to hear what Shira was saying.
Yeah.
What was Freya? Because like I got the fighter, I got the cleric.
She's a
well,
chaos
so-
sorcerer.
Okay.
Yes. I used to
Wild,
do
wild
chaos among the world.
sorcerer.
She's a wild mage by definition, but
You know what? I'm gonna start doing more chaos
Okay.
and less structure.
I also have another question for Travis. What do you mean by forge-ish?
because he's not a priest. He doesn't actually do religious things at all. He's a machine.
Ah, okay.
He's a
Okay.
tool.
He's doing the actions of a forged cleric, and arguably his moral stance is stronger than most priests I know in reality. So,
Okay.
but his
He's
his-
celibate,
he's a
totally celibate.
Oh,
What?
Oh,
yeah,
I don't know
geez,
about that. He
thanks.
merges with every computer he can find. Remember console? He's
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
trying to find computers to stick his probes into. So don't go there. Yeah, that's not his issue.
I wouldn't describe it as, you know what.
Okay, he's celibate, not chaste. Okay, he's not going to marry another machine unless it's a
Well,
free.
you don't know that.
You don't know that. That might be the first one I make.
That's right.
I might find a really nice Nimblewright in the next 5 minutes. Okay.
That's right. That's right. In just 7 days, she could make you a man. Oh, that's another story. Whole other movie.
Okay, with that in mind,
What?
We're going to visit the Nimblewright. Do we have a first name for the Nimblewright? Or a name of the
No,
shop?
we haven't even gone in yet.
Do you have a name of the shop or anything?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Just that we were told that it was a Nimblewright.
Oh, that's right.
Something
No,
or other, and that Zoblov
said
didn't
it
like it.
directly, right? And I don't know if Travis got to see that I have this now, but this is the coolest effect ever.
What, the moon?
Do you know what that is?
What?
the notebook.
Box of cornflakes.
No, his
Travis?
notebook.
It's the book. Hooray!
So
But for some reason, the camera doesn't want to see it.
it never shows it. It never shows. I don't care. I mean, I can get it to show up every once in a while in a Phantom, but generally speaking, it's.
Oh, guys, you gotta make sure
Do you
that.
realize when you just passed that in
Well-
front of yourself, it blocked out you and showed the whole Nycos?
Oh,
Hey, you
not,
gotta make-
not surprising.
Hey guys,
Yes.
Yeah.
you gotta make sure to turn on your original your original voice. So we all.
Did I not do it on the channel?
I don't know. I had to do it on mine. I just want to make
Wait,
sure.
what do you mean?
I had to turn it off so we can. Don't ignore.
Oh, no, turn on original sound up at the top left
Turn it
of
on.
Zoom. Yes, you want to turn it on.
Oh, I had it wrong.
The top left on his phone.
I know where it's at. Just give me a second.
If you go up in Zoom, there's an option at the top called Turn on Original Sound. It'll stop Zoom from muting each other while someone else is talking.
Ah, I must have already done that because I already have that problem.
So I want to enable it.
Yeah, well, what it does is it stops that from happening. So I can talk, you can talk, and everybody else can talk.
I thought you wanted to disable it.
No,
I don't know. I see two little buttons. One seems to show a
don't
picture.
worry about it. You don't need it.
We're all good, Gene. It
Okay.
just he's helping Freya with hers. All right. So we're going to go visit that shop. Let me go get prepared for the shop.
Truly, in my
Well,
heart,
okay.
I don't remember why, but I'm sure we'll find out.
Because they're workers and things, and you might need some refinements on your attachments.
What's a nimble right?
Okay. So
knows?
Kind of like an artificer or something like that.
okay,
Okay.
Nycos by definition doesn't have the artificer class, mainly because I despise the idea of Nycos having guns on its own. Guns are the purview of the other. When humans come down in their invading forces, which they have done every iteration throughout time, they bring with them firearms, and they are a revolution in themselves because of that. But inevitably, people want to create puppets that work autonomously, and so. Recently, in one of the books that Dungeons and Dragons actually put out, they created a subclass of automaton known as the Nimblewright. And so a Nimblewright, though the term, I actually appropriated it for the techs that actually make the things. So if a person makes a little tiny robot, whether it be truly clockworks or whether they use even more nefarious sources, for example, on the villain side there are necromantic Nimblewrights who make robots out of dead things. So Frankenstein's monster is a giant Nimblewright monster. So flesh golems and such are created by Nimblewrights. But on the positive side, Nimblewrights usually are performers. They make little dancing robots and music
Marionettes.
boxes, marionettes, that kind of thing.
What are they called? The
Toy soldiers,
automata?
Automata.
automatons.
Automatons.
Oh, the big
Yeah.
one, okay, and then on the other side of that coin, in history, there were beings that made functional robotics, and they also use the term automata. And Travis's heart is a leftover from a previous iteration that was dug up, cleaned up, recharged, and put online.
And gradually he's getting speech back because when we first met him, he had seven words.
7 words.
5.
Yeah. And it usually just said heart, help, fix.
Fixing.
Yeah, fixing.
Because
He had the verb.
Yep.
So
So
everything was fixing.
anyway, let me go find us the name of our shop here.
The somewhere, nowhere shop. Welcome.
Nice. Okay, there you go. So when you walk up, the place is known as Myton's Automatons. So MYTON''S is the name of the shop.
Okay.
Not that we have a note taker or anything, but Freya, write it down.
I don't have my computer on me, so I don't think I can do it.
Nice.
I wrote it down.
Okay, there we go. We found her new job. Shiro's going to be our scribe. All right.
Yay!
Yay! We've been looking for one of those in this group anyway. There you go.
Somebody who's reliable, steady, consistent.
Yeah, I know, Gene.
All the
Can't you just learn from your own words?
You'll
I
You'll
am
find,
reliable.
Evie, that
I'm always here.
Evie, you'll find that every time you want to join a new group, if you say "I'll take notes," you're going to be the most popular person in the room.
Yeah. All until the first time that you forget something they wanted you to remember that you didn't write down. Then you're going to be mud for a couple of hours because they have to.
I already have 4 pages
Nice.
on my word pad. from what you guys have been talking about.
Oh, she's been.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
She's gonna keep you guys on. She's gonna hold your toes to the fire. This is gonna be awesome. Of course, she'll probably hold my toes to the fire too. But that's another story.
Yes, okay, I'm down for this.
Yes, what's the sauce for the goose? It's sauce for the gander.
I mostly have memory problems. That's why I write things down, so I don't forget.
That's wise. That's wise. See, I do the other side of the spectrum. I don't do well with memory, so I just make it all up all the time. So
Okay.
that's why Nycos is what it is. All right. So anyway, we're at Myton's Automata in Eldrasar. The place, even the sign is animated. They're little tiny clockworks, figures of a little boy and a little girl that walk out of a clock and wave, and they walk back into the clock. That's all actually happening on this all the time. So unlike a regular clock where at times it only happens every half an hour or whatever, no. These little guys walk all the time. They'll come out and they wave, walk back inside. Little boy on one side, little girl on the other.
10-second intervals.
Not even.
I picked up my autonomous.
5-second intervals.
Maybe 10-second round trip. There's not an interval. There's no gap between them. It's just one walks out and then the other one walks out.
Okay.
Are they as big as my automaton?
No, they're tiny. These are just little tiny. They're affectures. They're not actually separate automata like yours. He already has that. By the way, that's the point. Is that Freya already owns one automaton. She's got a little bitty one.
Little bitty one.
Heart will lead the way.
Frank.
All right.
His name is Frank from now on.
When you walk in, the place sounds like 1,000 different clocks all ticking and grinding of wheels and the whirring of the little spindles and stuff like that. But when he walks into the building, the place shuts down. It takes a few seconds for the sounds to all quit, but it's clear that all the different sounds are operational and they all stop. And when they do, across the length of the room, which is maybe 60 feet deep and about 25 feet wide, there are both physical human, mortal faces and automata faces, and they're all turning and looking at the door. And one little robot near the corner, one little automata looks up and tilts her head a little sideways and looks up at you, Hart, and says, "Jesus?"
Who?
Aye.
Oh, then there's a cacophony of laughter when he says "I," and then they go back to whatever they were doing. But you can see from about halfway back in the shop, there's a gnome. He's has a relatively longish beard, but he's got it bundled twice, folded up and then folded again, and he's got that bundled in front of him. So it almost looks like he's carrying a mug of beer in front of him all the time because the beard is sticking out in front of him as he walks. And he's pushing past people, and he keeps getting his longish hair is down to mid-shoulders. He keeps catching that in the machineries and stuff as he comes walking forward. He goes, just a minute. Greetings and welcome to my humble little shop. I am Myton. You sir are...
Heart.
Puts out his little hand, like he's going to shake your hand. And he realizes you don't have any hands, per se. And
Yeah, I do. I have my articulator.
yes, but your articulator's massive compared. So, yeah, he puts his little hand out and realizes when you reach out with your bigger hand. And he reaches behind him, and he picks up a device off the shelf. And it's an oversized hand with plungers on the back of it. Handles on the back so he can articulate the hand, so the hand opens and closes, and he shakes your hand with a hand that's appropriate size for yours.
He shakes it.
And he puts his tool back down.
Clara comes in behind him.
I see you bring friends. What
Oh no, he brought himself.
Yeah, I know. He's talking. He's saying that we brought.
Talk to Hart. He's here for it.
He's looking at Hart the whole...
She likes to point out that she's not my friend.
No, I want to point out that you are a
An object.
self.
You want to call you an object, Hart.
Anyway,
Yes.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I was actually speaking to Hart.
Okay, fine. Sorry.
I just was noting that he brought his friends with him.
Yes, I.
One
am
of them at
friend.
least.
Yep, me. This woman right here is so weird. She can go outside, I say.
Do you have toolkits?
Yes, I do have toolkits, and I noticed you've got some torches on the back. Are you perhaps working on, I don't know, smelting yourself?
I am indeed.
Ah, then let me go see what I can do for you. And he goes back in the back. And it's a Fibbers McGee closet back there as he starts pulling things out of the way and moving boxes and bins. The way you described earlier today, your tech shop is very much like Mighton's here. It's stuff. It's just always in the way. But it looks like he knows exactly what he's doing as he goes digging around. And he
You
comes
know exactly what lair stuff, son. You know.
Exactly. So he brings this bag out, and I swear to gosh, it looks like on him like an oversized golf bag, like a regular human-sized golf bag as he's dragging it forward, and he tugs and has to pull a couple of times, and when he gets close enough, he says, "You want to give me a hand with this?" And he
No,
lifts the
He'll use one hand. And
okay, if
pick it
you're
up.
able to lift it right out, and it's he says that's I think you're gonna find that useful. That's an artificer's toolkit. I don't normally offer them out, but somebody of your expertise, because he's looking at the filigree work that you did on your chest and stuff, he says, you obviously have a heart for it.
Ha 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 ha.
And so it's a combination. The kit is the artificer's kit and also tool and nimble repair kit.
Very nice.
He says,
Heart-
that's between the two of them, that's 100 gold. I know it sounds expensive, but well worth it. And you won't find
Okay.
anybody else in the city that'll sell it to you.
Give me just a second.
And the little automata that said Jesus a minute ago has walked up to Freya and looks up at him and salutes and says, "Are you a commander?"
Yes. And I helped him down. I helped my. This is Frank. He's a wonderful man.
You bring your little automata out, and they shake hands, and he looks up at you, and or rather, the little automata looks up at you, and then gives your automata a little kiss on the cheek. And when she does, it imbues a little magical lip stain on its cheek. And she turns around, does this military march, and marches back to her place.
You got a girlfriend. I place him back on. Place him down. Like, I give him. By the way, I'm gonna give him his spray paint again to make sure he has some. He can do as he please.
Well, in the meta,
Mhm.
I'm gonna need to do some side jobs.
Need some cash, huh?
How much do you
He
have?
had money.
I have
I have-
26 gold right now.
I have 40. But that's it.
So you gonna show him your bag and show him what you've got to see whether or not it's enough, kind of thing. Because I don't know how familiar you are with coinage, so.
Yeah, she
Wait.
takes it.
We could trade him a couple of.
But say, there's probably stuff you have that he might be interested in. Because you got some of the
Yep.
trinkets and stuff.
Okay.
Let me see.
While you're thinking that up, what do I roll for my attributes thing?
46. Drop the lowest.
And then place
Okay.
them in any order you want.
Awesome. Where's my dice?
Did I not write down what I got from Zoblob?
I can't
I
believe
didn't
you
get
wouldn't do
anything.
that. Because there's
No,
a lot
I
of
don't
cool
think I
stuff.
did. I think I just got the Life of Valer, and I got a cube of silver stuff and a coal crystal that turns into a glowing yellow one. Well, what I do have is a blue box that's full of like 3 tons of grain and about 30 bajillion magic
Halberds.
things.
Yes.
You know, one will be more than enough to pay that.
Hmm.
Well, actually, what's really funny is when you mention a wagon full of grain, he says, "How much grain?"
I think we
2
had
tons?
2 or 3
Oh,
tons.
I'll tell you what. Just give me 10 of the 50-pound bags, and you got a deal.
Okay. We can do that as soon as we
I,
get some
I,
bags.
I have a cousin who runs a bakery down the street.
Oh, it's
Okay.
good grain. It's out of Dawn.
Alice. It's Alice's grain.
Alice.
It was Alice's grain.
It was Alice. I thought it was Dawn, but it's Alice. Okay.
There's a really funny song, but it's rude, and I won't sing it. It's
Wait.
about Alice.
You can get anything you want at
No.
Alice's restaurant.
Mm-mm.
I still love
No,
the way-
there's Alice Blue
Alice.
Gown.
I love how
Anyways.
I can't get it to do it all the time, but when I can get this image to put Nycos under my arm, it looks so cool. Yeah,
You have to get a little farther back.
it's a matter of perspective. I got to get exactly the right angle, but every once in a while it'll show up like I got my arm around it.
Okay, so Hart will go and use his arms to quickly fill 50 bags of
Of grain.
grain.
Yep.
However, that does uncover some of the halberds.
Yeah, more than likely.
Maybe we can sell one to get some coin. Just one.
No.
No. and
No.
You're well, and you were specifically unloading it for this guy. So since his folks are going to be automata, they're not going to think to ask any questions. So then you can close it back up and it's all
Hart?
good.
When they're gone. Hart, I'm going to ask you why.
Hart will not give weapons to just anybody.
Okay, never mind.
Hart will also, to sweeten the deal, he's going to throw in a wooden card with 5 hearts on it
Oh, very nice.
for Mighton.
Mike thanks you and clicks his heels as he takes the card from you and goes over and he has a little metal conveyance and he slides the card into it and it fiddles around and apparently he's collecting these. You're not the first card he's gotten in the last decade.
Hmm.
Eventually, if he says eventually these will be popular once we figure out how to make paper in smaller sizes.
What are the cards?
Well, they usually are cards referring to another person's business, so I'm calling them, by my terms, Mighton's cards.
Oh, okay.
What type of cards?
Mighton's cards.
Mightens.
That's-
What is that word?
Mighton, that's my name.
I
Oh,
call them Hart's deck of many friends.
Very nice, very nice.
Well, actually, they're called business cards.
Oh, that's a clever name, but no, I like Mighton's cards better.
Of
Yeah.
course you do. It's your name.
Well, I'm the one who invented this. This thing that goes around. This
Called
thing.
a Rolodex.
Why would you call it that? This is
Because
Mighton's. Mighton's
it's
wheel
your
of-
deck of many cards and it rolls.
No, this is Mighton's wheel
Hearts-
of business.
Hart's going to pick a can off of the shelf, turn it over so that it makes a rumbly thunder sound, and then gives it to Valara so she can steal the thunder.
Only she won't steal it because you know what happens to thieves, huh, Freya?
No, she passes it back. Why do I want this can of?
Sound. It's a cool sound. Don't you like the sound? Rumble, rumble, rumble. Reminds me of, I don't know, the plains of the Swarthier during a rainstorm.
Canned sound?
Yes. Here. She goes back a little bit further, and she brings back one. And Mighton goes back in the back, comes back with another one, and hands it to you. Turn that one over.
He turns it over.
It's canned laughter.
Okay.
Grabs
okay.
another one.
Oh, that's canned milk.
Oh, get used to it, Shiro. Get used to it.
It only gets it. Okay, just realize that at some point it'll start to rhyme, and then it only gets verse.
God.
Yes, and puns. No puns intended.
Oh no, they're
They
always
happen all the time. They're not unintended. Actually, it's no pun unintended.
Oh, and in meta, just to let everybody know, I have a plan that once we finally get rid of all of these horrible monstrosities of these magical halberds, we're gonna have a blue box for a house.
There you go.
10 by 10 by 10.
No, it's a lot bigger than that.
I thought we said
No,
it was 10 by-
because the a standard portable
It
hole
holds 2 tons of grain. Gene.
You will be amazed how not big that is. We had a container that was 15 feet and about 8 foot around, and it held 5 tons of pellets, which is a grain hay mixture.
right, which is a little bit lighter than the actual grain.
A little bit lighter, so it had to be a little bit bigger. But 10 by 10 by 10 is 100 cubic feet.
Right, but that's a standard portable hole, and I describe this as being roughly 2 or 3 times the size of a regular portable hole.
Oh. So
He's right. It could be used as a home. You could actually abide within it because there's nothing.
Plus,
lost overnight.
that's also just to cover up the who knows how many amount of these halberds.
yeah, I understand. Somebody.
So
is
the
gonna-
grain is only filling up the minuscule amount of air between them.
Yeah. Okay.
And 2 tons of grain fills one of those gigantic silos.
Oh.
You
Ones
mean
that take a ladder to go up?
farmer style? You got it all wrong, buddy.
It
No,
takes
I just looked it up. They have sizes from 1.5 tons to 2.5 tons to 8.5 tons. 8.5 tons is about 35 feet tall. The 2 ton is, let me look at the stats.
How much is a bag of grain, like in weight?
Your standard bag
5
weighs
pounds.
80
no,
to
no,
100
no.
pounds.
Yeah, you're a lot more weight than you're thinking of, Travis.
Yeah, your standard gunny sack, your burlap sack bag of grain is 80 to 100 pounds.
Right, I wasn't thinking of the big, huge, industrial-sized bags of grain. I'm thinking
No,
of
I'm not talking
the
about that.
regular.
Burlap
I
bag.
doubt that a single person is trying to buy an industrial amount of grain. I'm
No,
just
he
talking-
was. He totally was. That's what he was buying from you, is the big size grain bags.
I get that she was asking how much a bag of grain was,
gotcha.
so I was
Yeah.
giving her like a normal bag
Normal
of flour
bag.
amount.
Gotcha. Right, I got you. I got you.
Oh,
What you're
okay.
saying. But yeah, for clarification, when you buy a bag of grain from a farmer, he's going to want to sell you the industrial size one because it's not been processed or anything. It's just the full whole kernels of grain, which have to be hulled and shucked and all that kind of stuff where you can use it. Well, after you do all of
Okay.
that, then you put it through a grinder and powder it into flour usually.
Yeah.
So, but let's see here. Looking for the dimensions to give a clarification.
I don't know how to take 50 bags from 3 tons.
Oh, well, you have to calculate what which bag carries. I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
She's trying to do the math.
If I was gonna do like 90, since you said 80 to 100, it'd be
Mhm.
about 45,000 for the 50. So
4,500 pounds.
yeah.
That would be 2 tons.
It'd be a
5
ton. Yeah, it's 2 tons and change.
2
Okay.
tons. 2.25 tons.
So he's buying the grain from you.
Okay.
But that's okay. All he wanted was the grain, which means now you got a box full of halberds. Again.
Well, that defeats.
Yeah, it defeats the purpose of hiding it.
I know, but that's what he wanted to trade for. He did. When you said you had grain, he said, "I'm looking for this much." You don't have to sell him all of that, but that's what he said he would take in trade for
Yeah.
the kits. He doesn't know what you're doing with the grain. He doesn't have anything to doesn't care about any of that.
We'll have to find something else to fill it with.
No, I'm just
You know what?
saying you got 26 gold. You can fill up half that, a quarter of that space with that, so for you don't lose that much grain.
It's
Or-
fine. It's fine. We're gonna. Hart is gonna take care of the halberds.
Yeah, I know, but they're inside the box.
Oh, wait. To destroy magic.
He didn't say
weapon.
destroy. He didn't say anything about destroying.
Repurpose.
for
Gene.
magic.
From what I understand, that if you damage the weapon severely, you actually break the magic. It no longer is magical.
What do you
So
know
if
about?
you-
Now that's you're actually you're a Terran, and so what would you know about magic? If so, in
Okay,
character-
in the meta.
in the meta, magic on Nycos is an energy form and can neither be created or nor destroyed.
Plus, most of the magic that I've encountered has been imbued into metals more than anything else.
That is true.
And
So
we already
he's
talked
right
about
now.
this.
He's just gonna snap the.
Remember, the
heads
issue
off.
here is that the process to make a weapon in a mass production like this.
Can we sell the handles, just saw off the handles up close, nice and neatly, don't break them off? And we can sell them as quarterstaffs?
Sure.
Is the purpose of having them to make money, Gene? Is that
Yes.
No,
I'm not going to throw them away. Why
we're
throw them
not
away if
selling
we
their
could?
weapons.
Wait a moment. He said he was going to break off the handles. I said,
no?
at least.
He didn't say break off handles. He said he was going to repurpose them. Is all he said.
I'm
The
going to
hand.
remove the heads. If I need to, I will use the wood for other purposes, like, adding it onto the wagon to see if any lingering magic helps our traveling in the wagon. And using the metal is the hard part, is figuring out what to do with it. Because they're still blade-shaped.
If the magic won't be destroyed by reforging it, you can make it into magical
And
weapons
that's
of
what-
other sorts.
That was his point.
Okay.
That's when he said he would.
She
take
did
care of
take one halberd. That one is mine. Just don't.
Okay.
Fine,
Get
put
it,
it on your
Gene.
character sheet. You have one halberd.
I did. I took
Yep.
it a long time ago.
Yep.
Fine.
Thank you.
Whee! So he's happy with the the bags of grain, and he is so glad you're going to be able to use the tools. But why did you come into my shop? I mean, there's 2 other Nimblewrights in town. How did you come to find me?
Lucky?
I don't ask questions of fate.
Wasn't somebody recommended? Didn't somebody recommend him? Wouldn't you normally want to tell them who recommended him?
Yeah, someone did recommend it. Remember?
No,
The pub,
I didn't hear.
the hop bowl, the hop
The
pot,
crab bowl.
the
place.
crab bowl.
We went to the crab bowl place from the docks, and this was the nearest shop of interest besides Zoblob. Zoblob didn't like him
Okay,
for whatever reason.
just want to make sure. Okay. Alrighty, so you just heard about me locally. Okay, cool. Just need to know if my advertising's working. Apparently it's not. I'll have to fire those 2 Nimblewrights. I should call them Numbskulls instead of Nimblewrights.
Well, you might cut a deal if you buy your food from a certain place, and let you post a poster up.
Well, no, actually, as far as the grain, I'm actually this is part of a, I guess you'd call it a rescue mission. So I'm securing foodstuffs for a downtrodden people in my own native country.
Where do you
Orphan
come
for
from?
your native country?
Where do gnomes come from?
Where do gnomes come from?
Where do you come from?
Well, when a papa gnome really loves a mama gnome.
Yeah.
Okay, but you said country. You're downtrodden people.
Yes, of course.
What's-
We've been displaced by those cursed Grolem again.
Golem. She kind of looks around. Oh, darned if she knows what a golem is, but she doesn't say anything.
Of course.
Mr. Myton,
Yes. You called me Mr. Myton's my name.
would you know where a workshop I could use is?
Why would you have to go anywhere other than mine?
Big work.
Big work. Ah, well, let me show you the back. Come on, run back. So he walks you through the. He starts to walk through the shop. Then he looks back at you. Let's go around the outside. So he walks past you, walks out front, walks around to the end of the block and around back.
If only I was a bull.
Yeah, exactly. And he was selling china. That would have been even funnier. Yes.
Well, Hart picks up the blue box and carries it with him. Because it's not very heavy.
Is it still on wheels? Still on
No,
wheels.
they never
Yeah.
finished putting it on wheels.
Yes, we did.
That's why they didn't get away with it.
That's right. They hadn't put the wheels on it yet. You're right. You carried it. You're right.
But I thought we put it on wheels.
We have it in our wagon.
Yeah, you just loaded it into the wagon.
Okay.
Okay, so he's going to bring it around the back.
Okay. Just a second here.
So he's already used some of the halberd heads to make horseshoes for the horses,
Right.
but that didn't significantly melt anything down. He just cut them to shape.
Right. Cut them and pounded
Yeah.
them to shape. Right.
It's right
I
there.
sent text, John.
Just a second. I'm trying to do something here in between.
Hmm. Okay. I just want to. Oh, never. Oof. I miss the cold air of the winters.
You missed the
Don't we
cold
all?
airs of winter.
Hey,
Yeah, man.
talking about cool air, I think I want to put the fan on in here. Oh, but I couldn't get it working the other day. I don't know why.
Salted it and it's mad at you.
No, it actually should be controlled by the wall switch. I used it and they didn't go on, and then I tried using the direct line to the fan, and it wouldn't go
Is it
on.
like a ceiling fan? Did you pull the cord?
It is a ceiling fan, and I pulled the cord, but you see, I have it set up to go off of a wall switch.
Right, but if someone pulled the cord on accident, it
Yeah,
would shut the fan off.
it's my room. Nobody messes with my room.
Well, I don't know.
Alrighty. So, anyway, he says, so he guides you around. Sure enough, there's an actual full-size forge here behind his shop. It's smallish because it's made for gnomes, but it's functional. And there's a pile of extra raw metals and stuff back there. And he's got little price tags on each of the bars of metal that you can buy them individually to do your projects here if you want. He does charge because the average person makes a silver a day. He charges 50 coppers a day to rent the space. And so he's got a lot of local artisans that come to him for some small work projects, but for the most part, for hours a day, they'll sit fallow. And because you are literally one of the things that Nimblewrights always hope for, and that is a Nimblewrights device that actually wants to make more, he's willing to give that to you at half price.
Okay, he'll pay the 25 copper.
Okay,
I have a question if you would have an answer.
sure.
Magic metal.
Mm-hmm.
Does it lose the magic when melted and reshaped?
Depends when it was made, who made it, and what processes were used. The reason why I know so much about this is that my grandfather was one of the few that survived the Revening, and he's still holed up in the mountains above our home. Although the home is now threatened and could be losing all of them in the future if we only could. I'm sorry. I'm okay. I'm fine.
Can Hart trust you?
Can Art trust me? I'm Mighton. How could you not trust me? I am the purveyor of the most magnificent Nimblewrights in the world. I actually made Nimblewrights for the King of Eldrasar himself back when there was a king. Okay, it wasn't king. It was a guy named King, but that's as close as I can get.
Hart's gonna spin his head around 360 to see if anyone's watching.
There's probably some people working in the area, but they're not directly leaning in or anything.
He's going to very, very cautiously and stealthily, as Hart is very good at that, pull out a halberd.
Scrape! Yeah, no problem.
And show him it.
Oh, wow! That's fourth iteration stuff. What that shows markings that suggest that it came from the southern wastes. How did you get it?
Found it.
Found it. Did you go to the southern area? Did you excavate? How did you find it?
We believe it was being shipped to cause a war. And some goblins had taken it, and we killed the goblins and recovered it.
Ah, yes. Yes, this definitely looks like it actually might be actually Mercanian. I'm sorry, Barovite. I knew I was gonna make that mistake.
Heart doesn't want weapons like this, mass-produced, ugly things used to hurt people.
Mass-produced. There's more than one of these.
Many.
How many you got?
Too many.
Oh my goodness. And you got this from the goblins.
Heart would like to repurpose.
Yeah,
As much
I
as
get that.
he can.
But more importantly, you got this from the goblins.
Yes,
Which goblins?
the dead ones.
Well, okay, obviously that. But I meant, these aren't from the goblins in the north, right?
Halfway between here and Inandara.
Ah, okay. Whew. Ah. See, I don't know how far you can travel. I don't know anything about you, actually. But if they had come from the goblins of the north would be coming for them. Okay. Repurposing magical metals. These are fourth iteration magics we used the pressure process. How willing are you to lose something in transition?
Perfectly fine.
In that case, melt it down. The metals still will purvey the magical essence, and you just repurpose the metal to make anything you want. Of course, you have to heat them up pretty hot, so if you do have to have a forge. Portable forge will do in a pinch to break them, but it wouldn't do any good to remake them. You need to have it hotter to be able to reposition the metal molecules.
Okay.
You could definitely do it here for that one at least to see how it works. You probably want to work with the larger forge, and if you've got more than one of those, I would suggest that you find a more secure spot than even my shop, because magic news travels faster.
Do you know of any?
Well, you could go to. Well, it depends on. Are you wanting to share the spoils?
Heart doesn't want weapons out there.
Well, then your real only choice is to go to the Never Embers. The Never Ember family. They are the known as the revealed lord of the city, and the Rainer Never Ember is the only one that I would trust. He lost some of his friends in the recent past and has been looking for a new purpose for his life. And he's not actually the ruler, his father is. But Rainer is, let's just put it that way, he's a good seed in a bad field. And he needs some guidance.
Heart will ponder on this.
All right. Okay, so in the shop, the rest of you, what else did you guys want to do while he was handling all of this? Valara?
Valara's going to go out and seek privacy.
Okay, so the most private area in the entire place is known as the City of the Dead. It is a bit disturbing because you will actually watch like zombies and ghouls and such walk by you.
No. She just wants a quiet, nice place.
Quiet, nice place. Well, there's a nice little bar on the north end of town.
Okay.
If
How
you look-
about outside in the forest, on a hillock, on a knoll somewhere?
In the
You want to
middle
live
of
on
the
a
city.
knoll? Those knolls are vicious. Aren't they called Grolem nowadays? I'm just kidding.
Knoll.
Like I said, knoll. Yeah, exactly. Let me see here.
It would be a ways because this is a fairly large city, and we came in through the docks.
Yeah, but
which
there
is
are
dead
a couple of preserves,
Parks?
if you will, within the park. Yeah, preserves within the city. So I'm trying to figure out
Fine.
which one is closest.
I can probably find a quiet, secluded place. They probably always have a quiet place for a couple to sit and tryst.
Yes, they do. That's in the Gardens of Love, as a matter of fact.
Oh, lovely. Okay, she will walk to the Gardens of Love and find a quiet place.
There you go.
And then you're gonna have so many people flirting with you.
No,
Say, hey, why are you alone?
no. The Gardens of Love is actually more often than not the meeting places for trysts and stuff that are illegal or illicit, and so it's almost always exclusively at night. So
Oh.
the daytime,
Garden of Love hours.
Yeah.
Open hours between 8 and 6 p.m.
Happy
Secretive love affair hours.
Exactly.
6 p.m.
Till-
till 3 in the morning.
Exactly. Do remember there is a city curfew, so be careful on your way in. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Secret spy affairs from 3 a.m. till 6 a.m.
Exactly. Government messages for the hidden lords, special rates.
The hidden
Holy
Lord.
intervention
not
and
writing this
soul
down.
searching.
No, you don't.
Yes, you are.
I am not writing this down.
Soul searching available from 3 to 3:15.
That's a shallow soul.
Well, not only that, there's a little counter set up at every corner of the little pathways where different enterprising matchmakers have set up.
Okay.
Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a
When she
match.
gets there,
Find me a fine.
Catch
Catch me.
she checks to make sure no one's around. She takes out the iron cross. And she says, God of my fathers, please listen.
Oh.
Okay, go. I'm listening.
Okay. Is that a free déjeuner? Wait, is that a free déjeuner? Who did you crack up so bad? Travis, relax.
That was
You didn't.
great.
You didn't get it.
That was great.
You said,
I'm listening. I heard
God
you
of
say-
my fathers, please hear me. I'm listening. John didn't mean it that way. He just said it because we were talking, and it was funny.
It was perfect.
Ah,
I'm listening.
now, wait a moment. It's not that a free déjeuner, is it?
You don't hear anything.
Good. Well, that doesn't help me.
I want to hear your prayer. Come on, you said you're praying.
Okay.
And you're praying specifically to that God in this garden.
Yes, I am. There is someone who's trying to use your word to change these people. You use the word browbeat these people into shape. That is not your word. I know it. You know it. It is for each of us to seek you as we will and understand the truth of your words, but it is not something you can force another person to do. Yet my people are trying to do it to these people, and it is wrong. It is so wrong that it makes me want to help them. I swear to help them find their own destiny according to their will. I don't take a break from you, but I take a break from those who have come here to impose their will on others. They're not gods.
About this time, you hear a hissing sound off to your right. And a serpent weaves its way through the branches. Now, Mithy, let's not be too hysterical here.
She has her sword out.
Oh, what are you going to do? Stick me with that sword?
Do it.
If necessary.
If necessary. You're just feeding me lines to make me say words, aren't you?
Oh, I just assume you don't say a thing.
Too late. You already opened that box. You invoke that name in this place, you're going to get a response. This is a garden of love, is it not?
Okay.
So are you listening?
I'm not sure that I want to listen.
You're not sure that you want to listen or but you want to listen. I get confused sometimes.
Wow, judge a book by its cover.
You are the serpent in the Garden of Eden.
No, I'm in the garden of love, actually. That other serpent lived on another planet. It's not from here.
I don't like you either.
Huh. Judgmental a little bit, maybe?
Absolutely.
Well, you're the one who's asking for assistance, and I'm wishing to provide it. But you seem to be
I
insufferably judgmental.
oh, do I?
A bit.
Do you
Yep.
know what you represent to me?
Tell me what I represent to you,
The
please.
devil.
Ah, so you've heard of Satan,
Yes.
Satan, as it's pronounced actually.
Shaitan in the oldest language.
Ooh, old, new, young, old. Yeah, yeah, certainly, certainly. Prideful beings that you are. Of course, your language is the oldest. Nothing ever lived before you.
No, I just said in the oldest language I knew that word to exist.
Oh, qualification. Helpful, helpful, very helpful. Nonetheless, you've asked for help, and I came to offer and elicit some suggestions. Are you listening now?
I will listen,
Okay.
but I reserve the right to decide.
All right. If someone is invoking the name of the master in this fashion, it's not yours to judge or to redeem, for the master even used Babylon in its height, as you must know.
He is never called master.
Okay, in your world's language, he's called Lord. Lord and master are synonymous.
Continue.
Thank you. The master wishes us to bring his truth. The means by which this happens can be several, but you are invoking the very one that you say you wish you not to, that we would not use. You are invoking his name in this very place.
I prayed to my God
And that's who I'm responding for, on behalf of.
as a serpent.
His servants don't have to have limitations. You ever heard of the donkey? One of my favorite passages in the old scripture. When Balaam asked the question, thus the dumb ass spake.
Ah,
Sometimes I hear dumb asses speaking all the time now.
There's a quirk
I
on
just want
one.
to say Freya was not talking yet.
I was just laughing.
I thought I heard her speak. Yes. Okay. Sorry.
It's,
In the meta.
I got it. Digression. We're back to it.
Yes.
So you wish to make this world vassal to that same faith?
No. That's
No.
what I have a personal. I have chosen my God.
That
It is
that
not.
that's what I'm saying. You wish to invoke into this world that God.
No. I just wish to be able to still
Is his
communicate
is
with
his
my
message
God.
is his message not one of proselytism?
No. That part I disagree with.
Really?
It is for the individual to find God in their own way. Did you ever know the poem
Excuse
at the
me.
Muslims' call to prayer, the faithful throng and kneel in prayer? While on Bishar's lofty heights, the Brahmin called Jehovah's might. In the monastery weeds, an old Franciscan told his beads, and to the synagogue there came a Jew to praise Jehovah's name. The one great God looked down and smiled and counted each his loving child. For Muslim, Brahmin, monk, and Jew, each reached them through the gods they knew. I speak to the great creator, the light, the beginning, the middle, and the end. That is my personal God.
Well, that's pretty poetry.
I was always struck by it. and found out the best of all the religions were cored up in certain principles that seemed to ring true in all of them.
But
And
the major challenges to bringing that kind of a faith to this kind of a world, my dear. And his voice changes, by the way. He's no longer lisping at all. When you change your position so strictly, my dear, you miss the primary message. If I am not master, if I am not Lord, then your message falls upon the hollow ears of the three people that you might know, and our faith will collapse. It is
yeah,
only in evangelism that we can strive to spread the word to others, because without the word's spread, the word dies.
I can live it, but I will not enforce it on others, for that is wrong too.
Enforce. I love that word. Why do you assume that it's force? Last I heard, people that sing the praises of the Lord in any language are praising Him by their own volition.
I will think on this.
Well, just so you know, I grant you the peace you are speaking of in this place. You are looking for the silence of the universe, and thus you will have it. You need not worry about those other names that you called out, suggesting that I might be. But realize that even the most least serpent in this world, if in my service, is equal to the greatest sage.
Okay.
And then the voice
I
fades away.
She just
Assumptions,
turns
they
around
make
and
an
sits
asset of
down with
you
a
and
quick
me.
plop.
Yep, you're now in a safe spot. You don't have to worry about what's his name bothering you anymore. At least not here. A freak deja now.
That's good. At least here.
All right, back to Steven. You're in the shop. You've been working with your little painter. He's now asked for. He actually looked up at you and shrugged his shoulders, like as if to ask permission to go pursue his little kissy face.
Yeah, totally. I'm letting him go.
Okay.
Um,
So
I also
he goes back into his shop. You hear her giggle. You hear his spray guns going off, and a little bit later she comes back, and her dress has beautiful filigrees all over the outside of it that he sprayed onto the edges of her costume. Her little
nice.
metal. And he looks up at you and gives this little fist pump.
Yeah. I pick him up, place him on my shoulder. All right. Now, did you Animeta, did you check what I said in text?
I
Text?
haven't even looked at it yet. Just give me 2 seconds here. Da, 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 da.
Maybe I'll just say Animeta from now on. Just.
Got it. Okay.
I want to go feed the
Yep.
the
I
home.
got it. You got it. I got it. That's good.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go and do that.
Uh huh.
Take the 2 bags and go look for the.
I know.
the
Yeah, I'll tell you how to get to them. How to get to the quarter. When you get there, you're going to get mobbed at first, just because there are a lot of orphans because of the wars recently in the other territories nearby. But the Blue Veil Temple is very glad to take on your donation, as they are the protectors of the downtrodden and lost.
Mhm.
Their head spokesman is a pachyderm secgen by the name of Alphonse, and Alphonse is so glad to see you.
Hello, I am the kit of the bear kith.
Oh, excellent, excellent. We haven't had very many travelers from the far north. How can we help you?
I come to give to my. I feel that all orphans are my family, and I
Well,
want to.
we all are, aren't we? Aren't we all truly orphaned by this world?
Yes,
We're alone, having to
without
deal with our
food.
own problems.
Indeed,
How can I help you in particular, though, my son?
my daughter.
Otter.
Daughter. I get confused. These pachyderm spectacles. They say we elephants have great eyesight. We don't. We suck.
It's the memories that are good, not the eyes.
Exactly.
That's why their memories are so good. They don't have to remember what they see much.
Right. I see. No, there knows they could be members of the Order of Schultz. I see nothing. Literally, I see nothing.
Sorry, we don't allow pachyderms. They have a tendency to
Walk all over
be
you?
big.
May the blue lady protect you.
Yeah, burn them with fire.
So, these are what, offerings then?
Yes, I would like to help feed the homeless. I mean, feed all the orphans here.
Well,
Or
with
like,
this much grain, you could feed everybody here for 2 days, or you could pick one of the orphanages and feed them for a month.
I think I'd rather everybody have at least a full stomach versus being starving. I think everybody has the right to eat this food.
So yes.
And if I can't, if I would like to find a way to make a route for food for all orphanages. But for now,
Well,
is all I can do.
2 bags of grain wouldn't start to do that, sir. But my lady. But on the other hand, I would be glad to assist you in setting up a Blue Veil standard donation if you want to of so many grains per month.
The Blue Cross.
How are you going to arrange it, my
Dryads.
girl, when we're totally away from this place?
I'll figure.
You're not there, Valera. So
I know. Just a thought.
yeah.
Hmm.
So are you?
Do you have a
I'm
way
just
to-
asking you. There's the Lantern Street Orphanage. There's the Bay Street Orphanage. There's the Blue Veil Auxiliary. There's the Red Veil Soldiers Home. There's so many places where people are in need.
For me.
Well then, are there kifs in, or any kifs in? I knew it. I'm gonna go with the Blue Veil. Can you take me to the Blue Veil Orphanage?
Yeah, that's who I'm representing. We provide protection in all services for all of them. So
Okay.
by donating to us, we can provide either a little bit to all of them, or choose an orphanage and provide this only to that one orphanage. So they
A little bit to all of them. I think
Okay.
would be better.
All right, that sounds fair. And we're going to be doing this donation in the name of the Kith.
Yes.
And you were which of the moots were you with? Because I'm familiar with the religions of the north.
Okay. I am with. Okay. And what kif am I in with again?
34th.
Somebody
What?
remembered! Yay! Yes.
I'm in the 37th. You were in the 34th.
I am of the kif of the 34th.
The 34th moot. You are thereby
34th.
honored, and so will they. For 1 month, we will broadly broadcast from our networks the goodness and kindness of the moot, and they will therefore get the credit they deserve in the later times. He raises his hand and his trunk to the heavens.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're most welcome.
I'm gonna take out Phil Silver's seriously, and I was like, please get as much bread as possible with this as well.
Well, thank you, and it will definitely go to great donations for that purpose. And he goes and plunks them in the box. What they call
And
the
then
Tweet box.
the widow's
Play some songs.
the widow's mite box. Drop a couple coins in there.
And I'm gonna bow my head and like out of respect, and then have a good day and head it back to.
Well, as you bow your head, he does the very patronistic thing of putting his hand on the top of your head and patting it a couple of times, and then as you stand up, he does give you a blue ceremonial shawl in remembrance of the donation that you made.
Thank you.
It says, "I gave to the Blue Veil. All hail her ladyship."
Heh.
I'll head out.
All right.
Who is
Alright.
the avatar of the Blue Veil?
Careless.
Careless.
A man. A male figure.
Who's the lady?
There
Yep.
not any.
That's why you don't trust Pachyderm blue veils. They're all white veils in disguise.
No, they're sincere blue veils. They just choose to follow a god differently. Not too dissimilar from Valara's conflict earlier.
So,
Their color is a little bit more powder blue than deep blue, though. They're not a royal blue. They're like the pale, shallow waters around Nycos. Not that there would be anybody that would be afraid
So
of
they're
the
not a
waters.
Gatorade blue, but a like watered down.
Almost
Watered down
like a
bits.
blue lavender.
A baby blanket blue.
Ah.
so Hart's going to try to find this Neverember, I suppose, to find some way to get a workshop, because he's got a lot of quest things to wrap up for the party with
Well,
the
it's actually-
halberds and the gold.
Sure. So with the halberds in particular, the Never Ember family, you'll find are actually the trainers for the Griffin forces that are the standing army of Eldrasar.
Hmm.
And would be greatly in need of such military forces should enemies come that have magic, because they're currently working with really high quality stuff because they have a masterwork forge here, but they don't actually have. They just recently started messing with magics because of the message of the second broadcast.
Well, that's not going to help.
Well, as if you wanted the weapons to go to good use, so to speak, as weapons.
Hart can't trust any of them.
Fair enough. But they do have access to the forge, but the amount of metal you have to take care of, it'll take you months to melt all of them down.
Then I'll have to do it on the road.
Which I said you can do a little bit at a time. Yeah, that's fine.
But what he can do is use it real quick and melt all this gold.
Yes.
Yeah, but we don't have the person to bless it.
Doesn't need to be blessed. He's going to do the alchemist style and burn it until the badness goes out.
Yeah, you're just going to melt it down until the red melts off the gold.
Oh.
Purify it with flame! And some sulfur and some
main-
nitrates.
Mainly, you're perfect for the job because you've got those built-in filters that keep that material from getting into your lungs and manipulating you. So, because the way red gold works is the first gases that come out are basically saying, "No, stop! You don't want to do this. This is good gold." And corrupts people.
So-
Melt it down.
He's going to melt the 15,000 red gold coins.
And you come out with about 13,000 coins overall. Back if you reforge them into coins, but you don't really.
Well,
have
that would, I don't have a mold for
So-
that, so he'll just make like
Make 'em
bars.
Make them ingots. Okay, so it'd be by weight alone. It's 10 coins to a pound. So
Well, it's still 13,000 gold worth.
right. But now
I'm
it's
fine
in-
with losing
now-
2,000 to have it not be cursed.
Right now it's ingots instead of coins.
Wait, what about the heavy gold? The super little coins are.
That's what
super
all of
heavy.
this is.
All right, I'm just saying. I feel like.
If you want to do that again when I get regular gold, feel free.
No, I was just wondering.
So
what
Hart will
happened.
then take that to the Russian bullion dealers around the corner.
And what are you wanting to trade for?
Just cash it in. I want straight up value for value.
Value for value. Okay. Well, you'll lose another 1,000 in the coin change. Better than that, yeah. You get
That's fine. 12,000 gold.
12,000 clean gold. Marked with the Eldrasani symbol, which is the Never Ember with the 3 X's on the back.
Delicious.
So it's got Daenerys and Never Ember on the front and 3 X's on the back.
Oh, and also he'll spend 100 of that gold to if he were to dip Floyd into the gold, would he scream?
Yeah, it would hurt him.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But it won't kill him.
It wouldn't kill him, but I don't think he'd like it.
Well, are you sure? Have you asked him?
It's okay.
Ask him. Come on.
You could gold leaf them, which would only require an adhesive and gold leaf.
Mm, It
Ask
would
him.
rub off. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm fine. Whatever.
He's just
Alright,
trying to help his friends. That's all he's trying to do.
Okay.
Yeah, because then you'd add a new word to his vocabulary. I'm going to burn the world! No.
In gold.
Okay, so in meta,
Uh-huh.
he's gonna try to find where everybody is, but in meta, we need to figure out what to do with these things, because Hart is not gonna let them go to anybody he cannot trust implicitly, and so he wants to destroy them or repurpose them, preferably, because the magic is still magic. The metal can still be used for good uses, for us, or for good people. So, how many halberds do you think are in there altogether, John? Just so I have a number to keep track
I
of.
believe I said 300.
That's just what we could see. You said that it extended a lot more than that.
We only thought it was as deep as the box because there was 10 in each row. And we figured there was a number
It
of
was
rows.
about,
So
you know,
it's-
5 rows deep
So
is
maybe-
what we
so-
thought.
So call
But
it
then,
so call it 500.
so 500. Okay, that's
Minus-
a lot
mi-
doable.
minus
For some
3.
reason, I had 30,000 in my head, and I was like, "Good God Almighty, where did what?"
No, because if there was 10 in a row, but there was more than what we could see to the left and right.
No, the issue.
Actually, I feel like that was an accurate number. The 30,000, because we were having a like this is a lot ago.
There was 30,000, but I think it was something like 3,000 rows of 10, and it was more than that, like rows of 20 across. And then, because he said it's not just that amount, that's what you can see. And you thought it was about an arm deep, and we calculated maybe 200, 300, somewhere in there.
I did. We measured it. It was like 20 feet deep.
It is 20 feet deep.
Yeah, 20 by 20 by, oh, that's right. The door opens up into a much larger space than what the door actually occupies. It only occupies a corner of the wall. I mean, a fraction of the wall. Now, it might have been that it wasn't totally filled with halberds.
It isn't completely filled with halberds, but the number of halberds that you had was, I thought. Let me go back and look at my notes. I could have swore that I'd give you a finite number, and I don't think it was 30 grand because
No, it wasn't.
it was.
That's more than an army's worth.
Because if it's 20 across
Yeah,
and
no, it was,
20,
okay.
Yeah,
Okay, I think you
was
just got an
because,
extra
like-
zero in there. It was 3,000 weapons because
Okay.
this was a shipment for an army. This was going to completely equip an army.
Yeah. Okay, so 3,000. That's still
Okay,
a lot.
3,000.
And and that's right. These were headed eastbound on that road, right?
yeah.
Let me
And-
look.
And
Because
that's
he said that they were from, what do you call them? The Baravites,
Baravites,
they're down in the
which
south.
is south.
right?
That's a southern incursion.
But the Baravites would be supporting.
So yeah, it was going eastward.
Right.
Yeah,
the
and then
Baravite-
take
and
us-
the Baravites would be wanting to support the Northern Army.
The Blinn. Oh, we know it well.
Which we also
Oh, my
should
goodness.
warn Eldrasar about because they are the bottleneck to all of Grolem. So
So that would have been more than likely why what's the name asked so much about the Blinn, because if the quote right goblins got them, you'd have every goblin in the north hunting you down, whereas this other group of goblins that you did meet with aren't part of that, so they're a localized tribe
well, they probably were heading that way to join up or something.
trying to buy their way in, more than likely. Yeah.
Okay, so
But I think we successfully wiped them out. And if they were just a party of a larger
We
group,
didn't
then they'll never know what
try to
happened.
wipe them out.
because there's no one that escaped that.
Yeah.
Right. None of them got away. Right.
None of them got away.
All right, so you're going to talk. Well, you were talking to Neverember anyway. He is the revealed Lord, so he was the one you would want to be. Since you had the, actually, it's kind of funny because you had the halberds to use as your justification for talking with him. You end up talking to the guy you need to if you're going to tell Elsadar about the invasion.
So he'll tell them that there's like 3 million.
No,
Some ridiculous,
300,000.
whatever, ridiculously large number of goblins to the north.
And ungoblins, unblind,
The Unblin.
and captured, enthralled other races.
Who knows what?
And the fact, also tell them a fact, elves are not immune to the effect of their discordant music.
Marvelous.
Okay, I don't know that.
Yeah, the elves told her. I
No,
thought
they
she-
didn't.
No, they didn't. But the point is,
Well, then
we
how do you
saw
know it?
some.
How do you? Oh yeah, you saw the two towns. Oh, that's what she
We
was
saw
referring
the
to.
two
We
towns.
we saw one town and she
Two.
was used by it. Heart snapped her out of it. That's all we know.
Right.
We don't even know if that's even related to the goblins or not.
True.
But he'll let them know what we can know, let them know about.
Sure.
Okay.
Beware the music. It pacifies.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
The one person who knows is far away from here. She actually has.
So we got rid of the gold. We still have issue with halberds.
Yeah. Let me see something here though, real quickly.
The nice thing is if I could like buy a masterwork forge and store it in the box, which I may have enough room to do if I chop off all of the heads of the halberds.
Yeah, but
That way I would have a secret place to melt them and work in.
Wait, so you're gonna how are you gonna get into the forge though?
That's what I'm saying, is
tilt
if
the
I can
box-
buy...
tilt the box on its side and walk in.
Right, if I can buy a forge and put it in there, or build it in there, then I can work in secret and safety in there, and I can chop the heads off the halberds and get rid of the wood, which is the majority of what's taking up the space.
Oh my god, I can make a fishing pole. Sorry, that was
Hang on
No,
just a second.
wrong wood, too thick.
Hang on just a second. I gotta check on something else real quick here.
Shiro, are we coming in yet?
She's
Not done.
still building.
What is the blue box?
A portable quadruple
You're
hole.
inside and inside and outside.
It's a shipping box of holding.
Okay.
It's like a
TARDIS.
it's a TARDIS. It's basically a about that size. It's a phone booth sized box.
Okay.
But it's bigger on the
And-
inside. Much bigger on the inside.
20 feet by 20 feet by 20 feet.
Well, we haven't gotten into it, so we
Well,
can't
you haven't
confirm.
You don't have the full dimensions
Oh, that's
yet.
true. Why did you
It
climb
has
in?
bad wolf written on it.
Well, you got to rotate it so it's standing up, and that way you'd be able to walk in on one wall. at
We
least.
can't do that until we figure out a way to get some of the halberds gone at least. Or I spend the time and I buzzsaw all of the handles off.
Good idea.
Then we'll just have the heads of the halberds as blades that can be stacked up or put into a bin in the corner. Because they wouldn't take up too much room.
Okay.
Maybe about 5 feet square.
Anyway, after your talk with Raynor, as you're headed back to talk to your group,
Correct that, guys.
you get the sense you're being followed. Your little trackers indicate there's a form that has been repetitively behind you. In other words, as you're walking along, it'll be there, and then it'll vanish off your tracker, and then it comes back. And because it's the same, it got triggered in your sensors to suggest it's the same being. After this happens like the fourth time, you realize that somebody's definitely following you through town.
Hart takes a left,
Okay.
and then another left,
Mm-hmm.
and then another left.
Okay, standing on the corner in a green green pantaloons and double-breasted vest is a gentleman. He's wearing a pumpkin hat of the same, the big flat hat of the same kind, and he's leaning on a walking stick of looks like brass and ebony. He's looking towards the direction that you were traveling, and as you turn that corner and see him, he starts to move away down the direction you had traveled.
Hart waits a moment and then follows him.
Okay. When he gets to the corner, you see him nod down the street, and 2 blocks down, there is the exact same person standing on that corner. The first person walks into the little shop next door.
Hart then goes the opposite direction and leaves.
Okay. You no longer see any signs of the person that was following you. You successfully avoided him because of that little ruse.
Good. He goes back and tries to find the friends.
Okay.
Because that's the time when you get the heck out of Dodge. I got the information I needed about who it is, and I don't need to get myself into trouble.
Yeah.
I know now to beware of a green-figured, orange-hatted man
Pumpkin
with a stick.
headed.
You ready?
Huh?
You said you ready?
No.
Okay.
No.
Be
No.
the pumpkin-headed creep.
No.
You.
Defuse the bad guy. Take it from him. Okay. Well, he goes back and finds Freya and Valara.
Alrighty. I'm looking for something real quick here, guys. Sorry for the interruption.
Conveniently using the microchips that he implanted in their skin while they were sleeping.
Nice. Nice.
I already have one microchip that's causing me a problem. Can you find it and lift it out?
It's not causing you a problem. Gosh dang it. We went
They
through this.
can find me.
Who can find
Ah.
you?
You know who found me in back in
I think she talked about the ship that they placed in there before the arm.
before.
Ah! Ha! Good gosh.
Why do you
That's...
think they knew my name without seeing me?
Hey guys, this spooked me. So I was looking at the map, and then I accidentally hit left, and instead of the map of Nycos, this is what filled up my screen.
The ocean
Wait.
of Nycos.
No, it's worse than that.
Okay, let me get rid of this.
Just this face.
Oh, yeah.
Suddenly full screen.
Yeah, nice.
I was like zoomed in on the map, all of a sudden, ha!
Nice.
Weirdo.
Somebody's looking back at you. Nice.
Whoever that actor was that played in Jurassic Park.
That's not him.
Not him? Isn't that a little toothy raptor?
Yeah, I play that character, but it's not any actor or anything.
Okay. Valera goes to one of the local bars, one that's maybe frequented by mercenaries and stuff.
There's the Red Dragon Inn down near the bar, down near the port city, down near the ports, or you could go farther inland. You haven't gone that far up into town yet, but there's some nice inns further into town. So,
Okay, she goes to one of the nice ones further into town.
alrighty. My phone just went off a lot of times. Let me go see what that is, because I don't.
Yeah, so did mine.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
Mine didn't. Aren't I lucky?
Could be lucky.
It's all my friends congratulating us on winning the lottery.
What's that?
It's all my friends congratulating us on winning the lottery.
Oh, nice. Way to go. They're gonna tell you how
All
to
of
get
them.
gonna tell you how to get your money.
Yeah, I just have to send my banking information.
Oh yeah, what'd you win?
Toaster.
Nice. Did you? Which kind of toaster? Is it gonna be the four slot or the two slot? I like the 4 slot a little bit better.
There was one I loved. It was
One and a half slot.
This is a joke, Gene. This is totally a joke.
I know. But the one I like is the Krups. Um, it's an extra wide 2 slot, but it took, like, you have the sourdough bread that's always in that great big round loaf. Well,
Hmm.
it's the only toaster that would handle that. And I love it, but I can't find another model that copies that one. So I'm going to have to.
I've seen them.
I've seen them too, but I've gone out to 3 different department stores looking for that Krups extra wide slot dual. So you could put in 4 pieces of bread, or you can put in, those great big round.
You got to
loaves.
go to like Bed Bath and Beyond or let me think.
Well, I know what it is, so
Target.
I'm just gonna go online and Google it.
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon.
Crux extra wide 2 slot toaster.
Well, you just put in 2 slot toaster. I don't even know if Crux is still.
Krups is still Krups.
Is that their crux? The crux of their crux?
Yeah, I'm at a Crux too.
Did you find anything, John?
I can't find what I'm looking for. I'm trying to remember the name of the innkeeper at Troll Skull Tavern.
Troll Skull?
Yeah.
That's the Troll Skull?
Yeah. The ghost.
Uh,
The ghost. What's her name?
It's not my Allen.
Yeah, it is. That's it. Leif. Yes, you guys get a note saying, just talk to Rayner. Rayner says you're needing help. I got a place for you. And it's signed Leif Mayallen. Leif. It's not signed Leif Mayallen. Leif Mayallen's the name of the bar, but Leif was her name.
What's the name of the bar that I'm going to?
Troll Skull
Yeah.
Tavern.
Okay. Ooh, it's a very.
I
nice-
will say, I believe it was Valaire's first, so
You think so?
Just-
Yeah,
it was.
I think it was. All right. That'd be a nice. full
Before it
spin.
was inherited falsely under wrong bookkeeping.
Yes, somebody, a certain dwarf made out like a bandit getting paid twice on that deal. That's what it came down to.
Yeah. Okay, well, Hard will go there.
And
And,
Laura headed there, but she doesn't know Hart is headed there.
Right.
But
right, well,
he
and,
steps in the right direction.
okay, right. So anyway, you get into the bar, and it's kind of run down. The place looks like it hasn't been under very good management. The upper level windows are broken out and boarded up. The front door looks fine. Looks like it's been replaced recently. There's signs of trauma to the main structure itself in a couple of places, suggesting that it may have been hit by battering rams or rampaging trolls. Something big and nasty came through here at some point in the past and damaged
Probably a
outside of the building.
pachyderm. A passel of pachyderms.
Yeah, well, actually, if they had been around, it would be all painted blue and there'd be a party going on. But they don't know about what's going on here, so. Anyway, when you
Well,
walk in, the place is like a ghost town. There's several tables that are set up and prepared, but you actually see in at least one case, cobwebs actually dangle from the candle on the table down to the tabletop, like nobody's been here for a really long time. The woman behind the counter is very pale of skin and dark of eye, and looks to be in her late 20s, but her demeanor carries a much older weight. She's pretty slow to move and not in a big hurry to do anything. She nods at you and motions you on into the bar.
Okay, Valera walks forward and let me come to you.
Oh, that's fine, dearie. Fine. What's your poison?
Arsenic.
Actually, probably a good meal. Is it something you
A
can
good
still-
meal? You want a good meal? She cackles almost uncharacteristically evilly. I'll get right on that. I haven't made up a good meal in a long time. Most people just want the swill and the slop. She laughs a little bit and wanders back into the kitchen.
Can I help you?
No, I think it'll take care of itself. What you want to drink? She shouts.
Do you have mead,
Halfling or Eldrin?
Elvin?
Why would you want Elven mead when you can have Elven wine? Holy crap!
Well, I've never had that.
Oh God! She goes, oh God! Just a minute, just a minute. So it takes her a few minutes. When she comes back, she's clearly moving with a little bit more speed, but she's also agitated, grumbling something about Elven mead and Elven wine and the unknowing and uneducated and
Uh,
mortals don't know anything and da da da. Da. And anyway, she finishes everything up, gets out a good bottle, walks it over to you. She says, "Now, please," and she undoes the cap, pulls the cork, and hands you the cork.
okay. She sniffs it. She's had wine before. They actually made wine and they made mead up there, but
Yeah, this makes anything you've ever smelled before a distant memory.
well, that's beautiful.
And she pours you just a sip of it, and slides a glass across to you.
Yes, what a fine bouquet.
No, it's just it smelled wonderful.
Right.
Oh, yes, lovey, yes.
So she sent you this. So she pushes across the small sipping glass.
To your health
She nods.
and long life, and then
She chuckles when you say long life. She chuckles, and then it starts into a cackle, and then the coughing fit. Long life. Yeah. Yeah, let's all wish for long life. Anyway, you take a drink, and it is the best they've ever had. I mean, it's smooth.
that is wonderful.
She finishes filling up the
And
actual
she
glass now and puts the cap back in it, puts it back in the ice.
now one thing I'm only going to ask. I hope you don't go over too many gold. I don't know what this cost. If you
your sense of humor is worth it all, dearie. And she pats your hand as she walks back to the back to finish fixing your meal. About this time, you hear the whir and the grind of Hart coming up onto the porch. His feet, unfortunately, go through the porch in a couple of places, so he has to pull himself from the wreckage because, like I said, the place is in fairly bad disrepair. He walks through the door.
Heart will help fixing.
Don't
Yeah,
worry about it. Don't worry about it. Place is in a shambles since the owners left anyway.
Heart has lots of wood to help with.
Good, good.
yeah, it looks like this. Heart.
Hmm.
Wait a moment. Try. Oh, you don't have taste buds. You know, we've got to see if we can get you taste sensors and smell sensors and touch sensors.
Call me Robin.
Tell, the only problem with those is then those are actually, from his standpoint, those are exploits, susceptibilities that he doesn't have right now. Remember, he's immune to gas and he's immune to sound and all of that.
Yes, but John, it's the inner progress towards humanity.
I totally get that. I totally get that.
That-
She's it's something you want, but I'm just clarifying that.
No. I am not planning to be bicentennial man. I am not. A better robot than me did that already.
She just takes a sip and holds it in her mouth,
Mm-hmm.
enjoying it.
And all of a sudden, as you're doing so, you feel like you're transported back to Inandara and the beautiful music of their people.
Do you hear music?
Actually, I do.
Somebody hears music. I just heard a bell ring.
Hello.
Every time a bell rings, an angel gets her wings.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
There we go. Now I
They're
can
sending
see.
reinforcements.
They have to. One of them's slowly being converted. So,
Hey, Freya, are you here yet?
They're still muted.
Steven?
bring out your dead.
They're still muted.
Bing bong.
Bring out your dead.
Bing bong.
Nope, he's not here yet. All right. So the two of you are in this bar, and when the waitress comes out, brings her plate. Hart, you see a plate of food moving through space on its own. A plate. There's a towel folded over what might be an arm behind it, but the plate is moving of its own accord.
Valar
Heart will turn on his life sensors.
You don't detect any.
He doesn't say anything yet.
The plate gets clattered down in front of you, and it's mounded with all kinds of meats and vegetables. It looks like she went all out. It's basically a roast plate with all the fixings.
Heart might not get hungry, but I do.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah. Oh, and
And she tucked in.
the meat has been cooked so succulently it falls off the bone. You can see the little drizzles of the natural oils and greases coming from the meat going down.
But
her arm.
Gene, you wouldn't want that. That's Nycos food. You want some good heartly trail mix you still got from the mall.
I want this so bad. Here, keep your hands off.
Which one?
She offers
Any of them.
she offers you the big serving fork and the knife. And shall I bring you a plate, or will you be fine with this?
I'll take some grease. The grease from the bacon.
Oh, I'll bring you back something better than that. She goes back in the back.
That's right.
Of course, you're talking to nothing.
I still have a whole barrel full of whale grease.
I know you do.
That's great.
Hello.
There he's
Sorry.
finally back. Yay! So she's
Freya wanders in
Freya
to
wa-
the
no she
Troll
wanders,
Skull Tavern.
She wanders in and shuts up when she sees the ghost behind the counter.
Oh.
You guys make friends fast.
I am
Especially
trying to
when you're not
figure
here.
out if that's an invisible person.
No, you saw her. That was
Malin.
That was Leif. Came in and brought you your food.
Yeah, I saw her, but not the waitress coming in with
Yes,
the
you
food.
did. Yes, you
Oh.
did. I was describing
I'm
it.
the one that
I-
didn't see
I was
anybody.
describing it for Hart because he doesn't see her.
Okay.
It's almost like I don't see her as a person. Like she's just some sort of flying dish.
Or a servant or a tool or something.
Yeah, like a tool of serving. I don't see her humanity.
But when Freya comes in, Leif turns to him and goes, "Hey, Freya, it's been a long time. How are you doing?"
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Great. Pull up a seat with your friends here. I'll bring you a bottle. I didn't even know you were in town.
I travel. I'm traveling now.
I'm
So-
very confused.
Right. Well, so you come up to the table, Freya, and you have no idea who that woman was that was talking to you. So you may want to ask them what they know, because
You know, that's what I was about to do. Was like,
well, there was an old woman behind the.
No, it was a 20-year-old woman.
20
There was an older woman that had difficulty moving behind the
well, it was a
thing.
20-year-old
She was
woman.
not an old woman. She was 20 years old.
She moved
she
like
did-
an ancient one. She moved like an old one, but she was only 26.
Oh, okay.
Open thine ears.
You said that she moved with the stiffness of old age.
Right, she did. And as you started talking to her and became and engaged with her, she became more animate. And by the time she brought you your first plate of food, she's acting normal again. And then not only that, she acts like she knows who Freya is. And she called Freya by name, so that says a lot.
How do you know Freya?
Well, when she comes, she goes, I'll explain when I come back out there in a minute. Freya, you want the usual?
Yeah. I'll take the usual.
Okay.
Freya, you sound so distant.
It's because he's in the bathroom.
Nice.
Don't point it out.
That's what it sounds like.
He's taking a bio. Leave him alone. Anyway, when she comes back out this time, she's got 4 plates on her arm. One of them is a full tossed salad, including little tiny croutons, and a second on her arm, a little lower, down about where the elbow is. She has a platter of meats, just a stack of them, and then the third platter has 4 eggs boiled. It looks like they were actually cooked in the center of a nest of hash browns. And then finally a platter of bread. She says, I did forget the bread. She puts that on the loaf down between where Valara and Freya are sitting, and then puts all the rest of the stuff down in front of the Freya's chair. So, you have to tell me about yourself. How things have been going.
Yeah,
He's
we
still,
lost him.
still taking care of his business.
Yep, probably. Sounds that we don't want to hear.
Exactly. Sounds we're glad he
Um,
didn't offer.
how,
Sorry about that.
No, no worries.
uh,
I said, everything's good. I went to go to the orphanage nearby and hand out food.
Good, good. Did you see your cousins down there at the
orphanage?
lantern?
No, I didn't.
Oh yeah, they brought in four more of them back there just after the war
Oh,
The
sorry to hear.
war with what?
with the orcs. You guys didn't see the orc army go through here?
No, we have been traveling from Inandara.
Where?
Inandara?
Be right back.
Okay.
I'm gonna jab her in
Isn't
the
it
side.
Inandara is where we were?
Yes,
Uh,
Jane, you're correct.
uh,
She's acting
uh,
like she doesn't know what Inandara is. When you
I
say
know.
it the
I'm gonna
third time, she
jab her.
goes, "Oh, you mean Inandra?"
Inandra. Okay.
No, no, no. You're still confused. Inandra, that's the last home of the elves. After the burning.
Yes.
Who burned?
Oh well, the Primus withdrew. Don't you guys don't remember this? This was just a couple days ago. The Anandran forest was the last stand of the elves. The orcs
Yes.
passed through here and plundered just a couple weeks ago.
Yes. Uh,
What happened to Inandara?
it burnt.
Oh, Inandra is the name of the forest. I don't know what Inandara is. Sounds like somebody's.
It's an elven forest to the east.
Hart checks his watch.
It checks his watch. Checks your
Hmm.
internal chronograph is still normal.
So how have you been?
How have I been? Been better.
When is it?
When is it? It's about 4:15 in the afternoon.
When?
What
When?
year?
It's your turn.
What
Oh,
month? What year?
Well, that gets a little confusing. Let me go look. And she comes back with a shriek. Oh my God! She goes, oh my God! It's 14 months. It's 14 months. What?
It wasn't me.
What? 14 months? How did I lose 14 months? What? There's. Where's? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Where's Callisto?
Who?
Callisto,
Who?
or gosh, I can't remember the.
Ixnay on the Arbage Bay.
Yes, I know. I get that. That's the reason why I went with the only one I could go with. Gosh, I can't remember.
Who's your-
Well, I'll be
Another
damned.
group? Another group from another iteration?
Who is the voice, anyways? Who are we talking to?
Right, you're talking to the nothingness that's standing in front of you, which she sees as this elvish
Uh,
woman.
an elvish woman that's standing in front of me.
No, there isn't. There's no life signs.
What? Oh, you caught me in my altogether's. Just a minute. And she just spins. And as she spins, clothing appears and flesh fills in and she's there. I'm so sorry. I forget myself when I'm here by myself. Hi. I am the current purveyor of fine foods here at the Troll Skull Manor.
And I must agree with you wholeheartedly. The meat is just perfection. The potatoes are light and fluffy. And this bread, oh my goodness.
I am famous for my breads. Breakfasts are my specialty.
I can neither confirm nor deny your speciality.
I can confirm it though.
Thank you, Freya. Greatly appreciate that. So,
and-
so Freya, that means that you must be what, in your 90s by now?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I kind of forget a few things. How did we meet? I'm sorry.
I'll make it easy on you. We don't meet for another, probably 15 years.
Oh, okay.
Easy on you.
Wait a moment. Wait, what? You said you're not going to meet her for another 15 years.
Well,
Yet
obviously.
but
Well,
she's
yeah.
here now.
Hmm. Hmm. Yep.
Calm down.
Fra-
Don't be rude. This is my friend, and you do not.
Leif learns to Hart and says, "You do see me now, right?"
I don't know. Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so. What's your middle name?
Well,
Is it River?
no. My name is not River. Thank you for
Okay.
asking.
Just,
Thank you.
just checking.
No, it's yeah, River.
Are
Nice.
you a ghost?
Ooh.
You know, we don't prefer terms like that. That's a term for mortals.
Okay.
I am in the purest form Banshee.
Beautiful banshee, may I add.
Ban who?
Banshee.
Banshee.
From what?
Banshee were elves that died and used
Shh!
their
Don't say died. Say crossed over.
crossed
Be
over.
sensitive.
Actually, they passed. It was
Yes.
called the passage.
Yes.
Okay.
How do you know this?
There are stories in
Those are
my
not the stories from your world.
yes, there is.
That
Not
is
from
not
my
it.
land, not from my land, but the stories of the Banshee. The Irish one is it was an elf folk or a fairy
No.
folk.
No.
No.
That's not quite. That's D&D. That's totally a D&D thing.
That's holy D&D.
That
Banshees in
was
Irish
Darby against
folklore.
the little people, and I looked it up.
You
I
want
looked-
to you want to fight me on this? I will go toe to toe with Eugene, because that is not the tale of the Banshee. The Banshee is a ancestral spirit of every truly blooded Irish family that wails to warn their relatives of a
Impending doom.
passing. It has nothing to do with the elves.
The little folk at all.
They are called upon, and they will fake the call of a banshee to scare mortals. The fake folk will do that. They will even call upon banshee to manifest. They are not even tangentially related.
Okay, I'll look it up and do some more research. But
Fine,
that's
we can go to
not-
round 2 later. Suffice it to
Yeah.
say,
Ding,
she's-
ding, ding.
Suffice it to say, Leif is by her definition a banshee.
Okay.
They don't like the term ghost because ghost suggests mortality, and we don't die per se.
So how did we meet? Or maybe
Oh,
I not ask.
you ask how you're going to meet? She
It's
kind
Yeah,
of
okay.
why not?
she
Be
kind
surprised.
she kind of just chuckles and says, that's really for time to decide, isn't it?
Yes, you're right. That's why I said never mind. I'd rather be surprised.
Oh, thank you.
It's never good to know too much about the future.
So, Hart's really good at fixing.
Uh-huh.
Let him fix the place up, make it look pretty, so we can get more people to come in and interact with you.
Well, if you're going to take ownership, it is available for sale. It's been in receivership for, I guess, more than 14 months now.
Really? Would you
Hey,
be willing
why-
to
Could
be
we
the
invest
main
in it?
waitress?
Stop
You're
talking
talking over
over
each
her,
other.
Gene.
Sorry.
Ray was talking, Gene.
Would you be willing to be the main or the head manager?
I would expect nothing less, and I would get to retain my services as cook.
Yes, I would love that.
But I
Please,
don't do windows.
Pause.
That's fair.
Time out.
Yep.
I just want to make sure everybody is
In the
aware
meta.
of this.
In the meta on this, yes.
Okay, meta is
Are we putting down roots? Is this what you're wanting to do?
it's not a bad place. It's kind of
Well,
centered.
No, is it what you want to do? You guys were on a course to travel the world. I'm just clarifying. Or Travis is
Well,
asking the
that's why
question.
this is why I was trying to say you're going to be the manager, the person in charge.
No, that's not how it works.
Well, give me a second. Let me finish. Okay, let me say what I was processing in my head in the meta.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So, if I buy the place, I was trying to make it so she's in charge. She has full control, but she donates to the orphanages every now and then in the ship's name. So, giving the
Right.
orphanage a place to eat.
Okay, but there's a couple of major problems with that. First of all, she can't own it because she's dead.
Well, no, I own it, and she takes care of it.
But even if she takes care of it, she is severely limited. She can only be in the kitchen and the dining room by the spells that keep her existence. She can only be in these two places. So she
Well, and
cannot.
she has a room upstairs, I believe.
That was a creation specifically for that campaign. So no.
Okay, never mind.
The overall management of the facility has to be done by somebody who is alive who can maintain the paperwork, because Eldrasar is one of the centers of bureaucracy on Nycos.
Mm.
By taking
I
ownership,
hire-
we will be putting down roots here.
Oh. I like her too, and I
You
want
can
to.
always like the place and come back to visit all you want and see what happens over time. You can even make donations and offer to fix things, but when it comes to ownership, that's a huge responsibility.
You know,
This is what happened to that other campaign.
Oh. Yeah, the one with
All the campaigns that have homes, same thing happened in Cauldron.
Okay.
I'm not saying that it's not something we want to do. I just want you to be aware of the decision you're making before you make it.
so there
Alright,
would
then
have to
I
be
want everybody's opinion. Do you guys?
somebody that
you guys
maybe
wanna
an
do?
older orphan that has.
No, it got to be somebody in the first party, first person, for it to be something that I'm going to track for you.
Yeah. So it has to be. I'm asking everybody what you guys your opinion on. I don't mind
I-
owning this place.
Take
Honestly.
take into account what else do we have going on that you might be losing out on if we did.
We'd be losing freedom to move around and help my kid's family, I guess. And then we would also being stopped from doing the war, being part of the war.
We would not be able to warn anybody. We would be giving up the mission to Sylphe. You would be giving up the thing with your key and the beans.
True. All right, you're right.
The trick is,
I'm not. I just want everyone to be fully aware of
I
the
would-
consequences of their actions because I don't want any whining about choices that we make.
Just a moment. There is one thing that we could do. This won't be sold in its current condition. What we can do is get someone in here to clean it up, replace the bad boards. It wouldn't cost that much.
you would be surprised, Gene.
Yes,
This
it
is,
would
a
cost us.
this is a nation of bureaucracy. You would be surprised how many unions and guilds you have to employ to fix this place up.
What about
I've
if
been
we
through
do
it
it
before. I've
ourselves?
fixed this place up before. I know how much it takes. Even if we do it ourselves, we still have to get, permission from the Masons Guild and blah 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 blah.
I have a quick question.
You have a quick question? Yes.
Considering goblins are kind of weird and not fairly liked from my understanding, would you allow a hobgoblin?
Okay, so the Blinn on Nycos are one race. So the goblins and the hobgoblins and the bugbears actually all exist in the same species.
Okay.
So a goblin, if it lives past its 6th year, it either dies or becomes a hobgoblin. Then a
Okay.
hobgoblin lives for another 7 to 14 years, and then it dies or becomes a bugbear.
Okay.
So there are rights.
You
of
have a
passage.
very short lifespan, and you are actually it's a non-plagued race.
Okay.
It's not something because of the fact that they also are so self-serving as to be rigidly, stupidly so that they can't literally think about other people. So it makes them a hard race to play in a group.
Okay. Because it was suggested for making a battlesmith artificer. That's why I asked.
Okay, when you're looking at the different resources online that help build characters, realize that everybody has a different agenda, and
Yeah.
that specific build it was optimized for warfare and stuff like that, which is fine, but it also assumes that the character's existence is focused on just that conflict. What happens when that war ends? That character no longer has meaning. So
Yeah.
I would recommend looking instead for things that will optimize your interaction capability and the friendliness aspect, because wars and conflicts make for strange bedfellows.
And also, don't feel like you should do the artificer or anything because Heart's kind of got that covered as well.
Well,
Yeah.
Feel like you have to do that either.
yeah, you don't feel like you have to. I just mentioned it as a possibility for that exact instant.
Well, Battlesmith was something that I was looking into that I thought would be interesting because, from what I can tell, it's um, it's a mix between damage and assistance.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I get what you're saying. It's basically what the whole concept of a cleric is about.
yeah,
Yeah, I
You
get I
rarely get in fights, if that helps.
There's a cleric always.
but no,
yeah.
but in reference to what Steven just said, we don't play a lot of martial combats all the way through anyway. So there's going to be some dissatisfaction if your character build is all about warfare and you don't
Plus,
get into fights.
we don't really have a frontline fighter to.
I am a
Work.
frontline fighter, and you are too.
No, you mostly use.
No, she switched to heavy armor now. She's
Well, she
building
was
herself
using bows mostly.
I
right.
still use bow for
But that,
range.
but you just said frontline fighter, Gene. By frontline, he means frontline.
Someone who
Sword
specializes
and
I,
shield,
in.
it,
sword and boards. Guys that stand on
that's
the
what
front
I
line.
have when I close. I have a bow
You
to.
can't do this, Gene.
Yes, I can.
That's a
Eh,
That's you're considering yourself to be a versatile fighter, not
A,
a
a
frontline fighter.
versatile fighter. Yeah, because I'm a scout fighter.
Yeah, and you're also
Hey,
a
Steven,
Can
first
your
you?
Your
fan.
fan's going crazy again.
Yeah,
Sorry.
move it away from the mic, please.
He did. She did.
Okay.
So just realize, Gene, your build is towards the scout, which is the light fighter and range fighter, not a frontline fighter. The closest we have to a frontline fighter is Hart, but that's only because he's made out of metal and can resist a bunch of damage before he goes
And
down.
he's semi-pacifistic.
Right. He tried. Remember with the zombies, he was just trying to make friends with them and tried to embrace them. The fact that he crushed them to death was pure accident.
No, I was holding the
Holding
and
him.
she cut their heads off. And
I know that was horrible. That was horrible. Look, you'd
cruelty
embraced all
beyond words.
You'd embraced all those friends to the wall, so you could appreciate their hugs, and she chopped all their heads off. It was awful.
Yeah, cruelty.
Crew.
Anyways, so
Still a funny scene though. Funny as shit. Here's this robot trying to be kind and hold these guys back.
but yeah, the artificer thing was just because we were going into a robot shop.
Just mention it as a quick entrance, not necessarily the one you want. So do what you want. If you want to build towards something like that, that's fine too. It's just realize that this unit doesn't spend a lot of time in toe-to-toe fighting.
Okay.
So, alrighty. So back to the discussion. While you guys are talking, I guess the only other person that might walk in would be the Dragonborn from down the street.
Well, I mean, we need to figure out our decision first in meta.
True.
Well, I wouldn't mind helping her get it fixed, but I don't.
We're
it-
kind
it's
of-
not-
It's kind of a thing. Is that we're rather helping her and owning it or moving on.
I think I'd like to help her and then move on. Or
You're
get
losing
someone.
time towards your objective, though. That's the issue.
Okay, but maybe we can set it in motion.
Steven, the fan.
Sorry. There's like
Just-
I have two fans pointing at me. It's hard to get a direct thing.
I understand, but it just can't be near the microphone.
That's okay. All right, let's continue.
Okay.
I will put stuff in front of you guys all the time that's intended to challenge your resolve. Because it is a fantasy roleplay session, you can change that resolve at any time. So it doesn't bother me which direction you go. Just realize that if you give on one area, you're going to lose on another. That's just how it goes.
I just want everybody to be aware of that ahead of time.
Right. Because if you get embroiled in the local politics, you could be here for a really long time. Say a 16-month campaign and never leave your hometown. Not like anybody in this group, Mary, has ever done that or anything. Mary?
Oh God, our group never. We were above Cauldron. We were under.
Yes,
Cauldron.
we get it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So this is another fork in the road that we need to choose.
Well, our destiny is somewhere else. at
Is
this
it?
Time. Yes. This is not my destiny. This is not.
Well, our destiny is whenever we choose it, though.
Yeah, I understand that. But
All right, so then that's a no on the owning the business. Okay. Oh well, we'll come back one day.
Mm-hmm.
oh, how
Definitely will.
much do I owe you?
Oh, for the meal,
Yes,
4 coppers.
with that wine.
Well,
Art.
the wine was complimentary. It was from my own vintage back when I was a young girl.
You
The
have
bottle
wine?
the bottle's 300 years old, sweetheart.
You have wine?
Do you have another bottle that I may purchase?
We haven't finished this one yet. And she pours glasses for you and for Freya.
And I take a sip, and I just remember my childhood and like the few seconds I was in the city.
Well, not only that, when you take the sip, it reminds you of your original childhood in the place of the elves and all of that, and the sorrow of watching your family get purged because of their corruption by the Daean processes, and how you were swept away by the invaders who carried you off and put you in the orphanage to protect you from the damage done to your parents.
A tear, a few tears come down my cheek as I take a sip. I look at her and it's like, "Thank you." I'm sorry.
Art is going to set up a trap.
Okay.
What the fuck?
He's going to place down a piece of wood somewhere underneath the napkin or something.
Mm-hmm.
And under that piece of wood is 6 gold coins. And on that piece of wood is 6 hearts.
Okay.
And it will be on the table when we leave.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right. So,
Well, actually, Valera is planning to, with the 4 coppers, she slips a gold under it. Just, here. And she just says, that's it.
mm-hmm.
I didn't know you bought that can of thunder.
No. I
She
said,
stole it.
what does a can of thunder have to do with paying her?
It's a
for-
joke. It's fine.
It was a veiled attempt. It was a veiled joke, but it was not. I will not unveil it. I will leave it there.
Okay.
So, anyway, you'll have to explain the trap here after everybody leaves. But what else is going on here?
Well, if are we going to stay the night? At least.
Oh, I
maybe?
have no. You could stay. I can't guarantee the safety. The place has been formally condemned again for lack of payment on their bills.
Okay.
Also, you might want to be careful of the demon that lives in the basement.
You have a demon in the basement?
Well, yes.
What does he
I
do?
used to have a lizard that lived down there, but the lizard doesn't live there anymore.
I wouldn't live there if there was any demon down there.
Do we need to
Oh,
like
it's okay.
visit
It's
him?
safe. It's safe. It won't enter the hotel itself.
Oh, okay then.
Is there what prohibits it from moving?
Me?
Yeah, she's all powerful.
Okay.
You flatter me way too much, Freya. You don't even know me that well, but all powerful? That's not a thing.
I know, but I'd still like to joke.
She
around.
is some powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Partially powerful.
Moderately so.
Not all powerful.
When I need to be. No, and by the way, don't scoop up any loose change you find in this city. There's a bit of a problem with the coins.
Yeah.
Oh, are they red?
No. Should they be?
Okay.
No, they should
What's
not
the
be.
problem with the coin? I mean, directly, what's the problem?
Some of them aren't coins.
Oh, okay. I thought they were a curse or something.
They are in a way. They tend to insinuate your pockets and clip the bottoms of the threads so the coins fall out on the ground.
Oh, they're. Oh, okay. I see what. That's cool. I mean, that's bad.
Heart
holds
doesn't
up
have
his-
pockets.
She holds up this rabbit skin pouch. There's no. There's no
She
threads
looks
in
at it and she
at
goes.
all.
She looks at it and she goes, that isn't Sir Terex, is it?
And what's the Terex?
Sir Sonne. I mean, Sir Sonne.
Hmm?
It's just a northern rabbit that I shot once.
Oh, okay. I thought for a second it might be Secgen fur.
Oh
I've
no!
known
Oh
some
no
very
no
bad
no!
people that hunted Secgen, and most of my friends are Secgens. So.
Sorry, I know the forms are different and all that, but if it has a mind, it can speak. It's a sentient being, and I only kill sentient beings that are hostile.
Oh, so if anybody gets like angry at you, you shoot them.
Yeah,
No,
pretty much.
no.
She's a very angry person.
Anyone that's different than her, really.
No, a person with gangrene, if you can't get them to a doctor to have it treated, you have to remove the
see?
limb.
She
So
likes to put
sometimes even
everybody
her
down.
friends.
Don't you know how to treat gangrene? It's
Yeah, you
a,
kill
Yes,
people.
you got a
It's just-
paladin and he lays on hands.
what's a paladin?
You know what a paladin is? They save your butt.
Multiple times. This happens every time.
Wait.
Gene, you know what a paladin is, you know what a cleric is, you've met them all, okay?
No, I haven't met a paladin.
You
Yes,
have.
you have.
Oh yes, the little one.
No, the bear was a paladin.
Yep.
The other elf was a paladin that was in this party for a while.
Yep.
The people that we met in the moots were several paladins and
Yes.
Wait.
clerics.
The bear
Okay.
was a cleric. The
One of the
player.
bears was a cleric, the other was a paladin.
Oh, I
Tall
didn't know.
fellow was a paladin.
Oh, the Fargle.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You didn't
What?
ask. You wouldn't.
I know.
Because you don't ask, because you're Terran. I get that.
Yeah, no, she didn't think about to ask his class. No, you are absolutely right.
Exactly.
Besides,
No, but
Okay.
this same conversation happens every session.
She's getting old.
Your fan, Steven!
Sorry.
If
You
you
know
can
what,
get
he's gonna keep
extremely
doing it.
loud
He's gonna
when
keep
you
going,
do
but
whatever
he's-
you do.
Yeah. When-
What are you doing when that happens? Because it gets insanely loud.
he adjusts so that he gets
I
out of the
move
way.
my
of the
hand
fan.
around. Oh.
He was
did
laying.
you lean
he's laying in-
forward to talk?
There we go.
He was laying in front of the fan. And he moved his body, and the fan is running directly on the microphone.
Yeah. Yeah, my phone's. Yeah. You got it. You understand.
All right.
I'm sorry.
So are we done fishing?
I think we're done fishing. Are we done fishing?
Yeah.
You see, that was a fishing expedition, right?
That was a fishing trip.
I love fishing.
And we were the fish.
Okay.
Hart used his saw blades to cut all the lines.
Okay, so the red herring then slips away, and she wishes you good morrow on your travels.
Okay. How long does it take her to discover the card?
Long enough to move the napkin. So tell me, how is that a trap?
It's a devious trap. The worst kind. The trap of friendship. Undying.
Isn't that crazy? She has to pick it up in order to take the coins, but she won't take the coins because she's got the card instead.
Yeah.
Is that your thoughts?
No.
No. Explain it.
I just wanted to cover up the thing because it's wood on wood and she wouldn't see the coins, so she wouldn't run after. It's like, no, take your
Oh,
money back.
Good point. Good point. Good point.
I want it to be a good deed unrewarded.
Unrewarded good deed. Gotcha. Gotcha.
And then I slipped her one with a 4 copper.
Right. Which was the reference to the
Yep,
can of
okay.
thunder. Yep.
Let's go.
All right.
So we load up the wagon. Is there anything that what else are we doing here in Eldersar?
Nothing else you had to do.
So we've
I
alerted
want
them.
to find a bottle of elven wine.
That's not gonna happen anytime soon.
Oh, she would have sold you a bottle of wine, but sell you a bottle of wine, she would have sold you something a lot younger. She wouldn't sell her old stuff. That's only for her.
No, I understand, but yeah,
Now that you know that wine tastes good, you want a bottle of wine.
yes.
She wants to go shopping again, guys. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's yeah, wherever she can get elven wine, she wants a bottle of elven wine. So if she sees a liquor
Two
store,
silver pieces.
okay, she gives 2 silver pieces, takes her elven wine, and goes.
Okay.
Okay.
Whew.
So we got the wagon loaded up.
The city almost. I almost trapped you in the city. Almost.
The jaws were closing.
They were. They were.
Get out of my face.
I'm sorry. God, I won't get out of your face. I didn't mean to cause you trouble.
No, my cat.
I'm just teasing. We all, just about everybody in the room except for me has pets. So
I don't have a pet.
that's why I said
Mine's
just
cat
about
away.
everybody, because everybody.
Is
but
that
you
why
and me.
you always grab pets the first time you can with whatever character? I want it. It's cuddly and soft, and you can pet it.
It's beans. I don't care, but now it's a pet.
Can you stop talking to me
Chia,
like
chia, pet.
I will turn Nycos to the place of pure imagination and love and fluffiness.
Okay,
I will
so
conquer this
were
world
we headed for
and make sure
Trallo?
everybody requires a pet, and they have to keep them alive or they die.
Calm down. I've killed how many pets in this world?
I don't know. Lost count.
100% of them. They all die. Eventually.
That's why you got to make them not a pet.
That's right. You have to make sure they're not a pet, and then they can live forever. So
Yeah, that's what I did, didn't I?
So were we headed for Tra-La-Ra, or were we heading for World's Edge? I don't remember which way you guys were going.
We're headed towards Candle Scratch.
You're an evil person.
We're heading
yep.
through Trallara, I
Oh.
suppose.
Can we get a horse? 2
We
horses.
have horses. We
Yeah,
have a
but we
wagon.
don't have a draft horse. I want to be able to get on my horse in case I need to be mobile.
You have a draft horse.
Hang on. No, she's wanting to get get another draft horse. That way she can get off her high horse and actually drive the wagon sometimes. Get it?
Okay.
That was a bad pun. Sorry.
Sure.
Yeah, it was. It really obfuscated what I was trying to go. Look, we are using riding animals for draft horses. We need,
It's a frickin' 25 silver piece purchase.
yeah,
So just make the purchase. It's okay.
yeah.
Right now, puppies. Mommy's busy.
Do they have airships? Because I really want to make her horse buying pointless.
There are a few airships here, but they tend to not want to fly over Tra-La-Ra because Tra-La-Ra is
Get that in
an
control.
area of.
That's fine. We can go around.
Yeah.
It's not like there's like an ocean or anything.
No.
What's a tra-la-la?
Tra-La-Ra. It's the kingdom south of you.
La-la-la. What is it and what's wrong with it?
Everything, apparently.
If you saw the map, which I can show you just a second, because I actually was looking at it at this instance, so I can just go over here to do this, and
I'm not
then
looking.
share this, and share this.
Too much sharing.
There we go. With me, I'm full of sharing. El Sadar, Tra-La-Ra.
Huh.
Gray phases here are wastes. Some great battle, some great conflict, a blighted all.
Hey, I
of
spelled
those-
it right.
Tra-la-la.
Tra-La-Ra. Yeah.
Tra-la-la.
And we are headed over to Candle Scratch.
And Candle Scratch is way over here. So you've got to cross an entire continent. So you're going from New York to LA. Or New York to Vegas, looks like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a long trip.
It is.
Okay.
That's why we're taking the slow road. Slow path.
Well, so the easy passes are through the ruins. Or you can take the more difficult passes through the mountains on either side.
No, I have a feeling a wizard will get mad at us if we go around.
You think the wizard will get mad at you going for this round around? Or this wizard
Yeah.
here?
We gotta go underneath
How about
the
getting a
mountains.
ship and going
That's-
around?
Nice.
Let's do it.
Hey,
I
why
got
don't we look for the
gold.
group
I
then?
can buy a ship outright right now.
Where did you get gold?
Places.
Is it gold that's shareable?
Yep.
Okay.
So you want to buy a water ship? You'd be buying it on the Tween Sea.
No. Mm-mm.
Can we? Nah, never mind.
Nope, because it won't get us where we're going. I need a flying ship.
Oh, gosh. Let me go look just a second. I don't know if there are any in the area. I guess I'll have to go pull out the book.
The book.
That is how it's weird how it shows up only when it's in front of me.
Yeah, there's
Ah, the book.
Can't
Well,
make
Move your
okay,
hand.
Or... Oh, I
No,
guess.
it's
It's
still
in your
showing up.
magic.
You know what it is? It's the longer it manifests, the longer it becomes real. Notice that? Yeah, there's one guy that's got a boat to sell. His name's Bodley Psycho Valve.
Whoa,
Ooh.
that's an amazing name.
No, he's a gnome, veteran of the recent psychic war.
What psychic war?
We would like to get a ship.
Well, it's a gnome construct. It is a flying craft, but it flies utilizing LTA technology.
What's LTA technology?
Lighter
Lighter
than
than
air.
air.
It's got a great big balloon up on top that, and a gondola swung underneath.
Not a gondola, a galleon.
A galleon. God,
That's really big.
Well, it's a gnome-sized galleon, so it's going to be small.
oh God, then that means all
So it's
the
a skimmer.
Yeah, but again,
Schooner.
it's a schooner, but he's being carried by this monstrous
With lots
balloon,
of little cannons.
and it has a propeller on the back. Cannon? No cannon. It's got one crossbow.
arbalest.
No.
How
Crossbow.
much do you want for it?
100 gold.
Done.
Now, what about a crew to sailor?
They're cheap. You can buy them copper a dozen.
Per day. A copper a piece per day, you mean?
I want a baker's dozen of red shirts on the double.
13 red shirts on order. Except that when you tell them that you're going to be crossing the Tra-La-Ra, it'd be triple that.
Well, what's the other path we could go?
Over the water.
Going in.
Over the water?
Sounds good. Let's go. Let's go over the
Okay.
water.
Because we can go right down the coast here, drop in
Yeah.
just beyond the mountains.
Guys, there's only so many times I can say it. Okay?
It's fine.
What?
Let's go over the water.
Okay.
Are we going in the water?
He wants to go so bad, he wants to go. He just goes, what he's saying. He's tired of
Rip it like a band-aid, baby. Rip it off.
How many
Okay.
days rations will we need?
That's what he was trying to avoid right there. That's
God damn it.
I knew I'd get you somehow, Travis. Mwahaha.
You have to consider the crew needs to eat. They can't starve.
No, you don't.
Here's what he was hoping for. You've got a boat. We're traveling.
Woo! It's fantasy time.
How far did they travel per day?
No, I just dawned on me, Travis. This is exactly what we're talking about, how to do pay to play. Yeah, you get to sit in Eldrasar and worry about your stuff here, or you can just dump $150 in real time on it and not have to worry about any more waiting around in town. So
You get an unlimited barrel of food
You're
stuff.
automatically loaded up. Wherever you're going, it's automatically done.
Okay, fine. He's dropping 10 extra gold to get all the supplies you could ever need. It is there.
It's loaded.
That is 10 lifetimes of bread, okay?
That's right. We've done the lifetime equation. All right. Sorry, didn't mean to mess with you.
I'll make it 11 gold and throw in a bottle of elvish wine.
That he takes from her bag. She's not looking. No, just kidding. All right. So, I'm going, therefore, directly... Okay, by airship, we have to roll for wind each day, though, because in some cases it'll slow you down, in some cases it'll speed you up.
Sounds wonderful.
So,
So we can tack.
counting with north being a 1 and northwest being a 6, go ahead and roll a 6-sided die for me.
I want to do some wild magic. Just for fun. Not for any other.
Okay, what do you want to do with your wild
5.
magic? 5. Oh, going to be sailing almost directly into the wind. Isn't that great?
Oh, God.
Oh, hardly make way.
Now
unless-
roll another d6 for strength of wind, with a 1 being no wind to speak of and a 6 being a gale.
Just a moment. 3.
6.
She's yelled 3 first, so it's a moderate wind.
I'll take it.
Better than the gale. That would suck. Sailing directly into a gale. Ooh, no fun.
What a way to start.
Yep.
We would lose ground.
However, Hart is going to start working on a machination.
Okay.
He is going to fashion and hammer out. How many blades is the propeller?
If you made it, it's 6.
He is going to make 6 glaives into a new propeller,
Into a larger propeller.
which are blessed with speed.
Right. Nice.
There we go.
There we go. Now we know what he's working on for the next 6 days. It's going to take you a day per each. So create them.
Sounds fine to me.
And
plenty
I'm
to
gonna
spare.
be. I want to do some wild magic to train myself
Okay.
and to release the magic upon the world to help it become more chaos.
And in particular,
I
you're going
want-
to do what?
I'm gonna make it like a rainbow of flowers falling past us as we go upon the water. That's-
Wow,
With
you
the
are
fire
becoming
wall.
you are becoming so much like what is the character from Wizards, the little fellow. Oh, I have to think of his name here in a second. I used to know it.
Wait, which one?
The little
The little wizard.
He's not the young version.
no, the one with the big red nose.
Yeah,
the
and
young
the
version
long-
of him.
No, that they're both the same age. Him and Greyhawk are both the same age.
Right, I'm talking about like, in the Bass when he's like doing all the tricks to make his mother happy. He did silly stuff like that.
Right. Right. Well, even later on, even when he finally gets to the land.
Oh,
of
when
the-
he's drunk.
Yes. Just
Okay.
throwing flowers everywhere. Sure. So go ahead and roll percentage dice for me, Wild Mage.
Oh man.
You get a bonus because you linked it to a movie.
Yep.
42.
And that's an appropriate number to pull. So no matter what I was going to do otherwise, it does exactly what you want. There is a rainbow of flowers that are spewing out the back of the craft for the next hour.
Yes.
Good thing we're not being
Yes!
tracked or anything.
Not that anybody's tracking you.
That's fine.
42, the ultimate 20.
Exactly. Even better than a 20 is a 42 on 100 because it's 1 out of 100 instead of 1 out of 20.
And it's correct.
And it's the right number, exactly. All right, so therefore, because of the wind, are you going to veer closer to the mountains, or are you going to attempt just a straight tack into that wind?
They can tack. Tacking is always a very good way to help defeat the wind when it's.
I'm just clarifying which way you want to do, because you're going to pass a little bit to the north of the brown hex, or you're going to pass through the brown hex.
A little to the north of the brown hex, and then cut down the other way, tack the other way, so that we catch.
It must be near 4th of July, because my entire neighborhood is exploding with fireworks out here.
Yeah, I know. What is the
You
fireworks
better
about?
hope it's just fireworks.
Well, no, there have been fireworks
My
going off by my
stupid
house too.
little city had a parade that went from Garden Grove Boulevard up to Chapman Boulevard.
Right.
You know, we're a little bedroom community. You know,
Mhm.
nobody knows about us. We're not right next to. Then we're under curfew.
I know. So are we.
Yeah,
What is June about fireworks?
nothing.
Did people forget and think it's July?
No, I think what happened is people snuck across the border to Vegas, to Nevada, and bought 'em. And are now just exerting their will against the government by revolting against the curfew. Because they're not supposed to be outside doing anything right now.
I don't know.
Our
I'm right
city
back.
still allows fireworks at 4th of July.
Yeah, but we're way ahead of that. So
Yeah, I know. We had a whole spate of it yesterday.
it's been for days and days, and not only at night, but in daytime too.
Yeah.
It's weird.
They have to open.
Our world is going weird.
Yeah, they just have to normalize it. And
This
get-
is when Travis and I would break into the song. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it.
As you know it.
It's the end
I
of
already
the
feel
world
like
as
this
we
will
know
be
it,
the-
and I feel fine.
Okay.
So you're
So-
going north or south of that mountain range. If you're going to go through Tra-la-Ra, you'd go south of it. If you're going into Tra-la-Ra, you're going to go north. You're headed for Candle Scratch.
Hmm.
Tra-la-Ra is that whole region, but the city, the ruined city, is actually Traylor, which is the original city.
So we will go from where we are, south southwest,
So
not heading
so on the map,
miss.
Eldersar is here.
Okay, and
You're
we'll
either
go
going to go this direction
no
or this
down,
direction. So you're going.
down,
Okay.
cutting right through that, right through
Okay.
the green corner one,
Gotcha.
the green one, that kind of sandy
Gotcha.
colored one, and then go.
Gotcha. Just want to make sure we're headed the right direction.
Okay.
All right. The terrain below you is mostly orchards, different growers, of course, specializing in different kinds of fruit. But there's it's mid-spring, so it's the very heady aroma of all those flowers.
Yeah, all the different
Add to
people.
the fact that you've just made it rain flowers and such on all these farmers. You'll have groups of children running out of the local houses and waving and clapping. Very pleased.
For
to
those
see it.
flowers?
Yeah.
Yes!
I do yoga.
Yes!
Yeah, I do yoga in the morning. I work out with a sword and tuck and roll and acrobatics in the afternoon in armor. Then I strip that off, and at night, before I go to bed, I do Tai Chi.
Alrighty. So that uses up most of the deck for most of the time because these little boats not nearly as big as you think it is. Hart can't even go below deck.
No. We'll have to find out.
Fortunately, the crate will fit directly into the storage compartment, though. So,
Yeah.
the big blue box does have a place to go.
Well, I will have trouble fitting in there. Well, I mean, I'll probably have to crawl in the door.
Yeah, you have to crawl in the door and knock out a wall or two so you could lay down. Otherwise, it's not going to be enough space for you. Because the gnome's about half your height. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
I might be able to make something in the hole so I can.
Well, yeah, but you also have the 12 gnomes you actually had to hire to run the ship too. So.
That's true. Well, maybe she can sling a hammock on deck.
Yeah, if Shiro had her gnome ready, she could be one of the crewmen here. If she wanted to jump in.
I actually am almost done. I just have to get my equipment.
Oh, nice. Well, you'll
Which
find that equipment.
happens to be a hammer.
Doing?
No problem. Have a hammer. Poof, you have a hammer.
I had a hammer.
Yeah.
I'd have it in the morning. I'd have it in the evening.
I just have to look up something.
Sure.
All over this world, man.
So, then you can change your name on the.
Thing to your
Yeah.
character name.
What?
Change Shiro to whatever your character's name will be when you're ready. That way I'll know to add you.
I was going to name her Shiro.
Oh, okay. There we go. That makes it easy. That's so easy. Wow, look at that. Poof, Shiro's here. Dun dun dun.
And you get to
So you
Yeah,
give us your introduction here, since we've left town. We got really nothing else to do for this first day of travel because we're over civilized territory.
My name is Shiro. I'm an artificer. I am a training
Just for clarification, I call them artifixers. F-I-X-E-R.
artifixers. Yeah,
Because-
artifixers. Okay.
Right, because
That makes sense.
in my world, there isn't anybody yet doing mass production of them, so therefore an
Okay.
artifixer is actually one who fixes up and repairs the old ones.
I am a pseudo trainee guild merchant who is looking to travel. So there's that.
Well,
yeah.
you saw the flyers said travel the world, get to know machines.
Yeah.
You didn't know that it meant get to
Basically.
know a party member who was one.
Yeah. That would be, yeah. So far, that's pretty much all I gotten.
Okay, and to fill in a bit of the gap, historically, more than likely you worked with Mighton for a while.
Okay.
That he wasn't truly you didn't apprentice under him, but when you came to town, he did give you a job when nobody else would yet because you weren't recognized with the guilds.
Okay.
And he basically, the way it works in Eldersar in particular is that you have to be introduced to the guild. The guild has to pass you on a test, and then you've got to do so much work for free before you get recognized as a guild member.
Awesome.
So you finished all of that just as you finished this, and Mighton goes, by the way, if you're looking for travel opportunities, I happen to know a machine that's looking for help.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay! How do you do armor class again?
It's
Arda Fixer.
no, not spelling. She said armor class.
ARMOR.
No, Gene, Gene, you're killing me here.
It's 10 plus Dex mod, right?
10 plus
Killing
dex
me,
mod,
boss.
unless you're
Okay.
wearing armor, in which case it modifies that somewhat. The heavier the
I
armor, the
am
less
not
likely.
wearing armor.
Good.
For now.
I will give you a skill, though, given the fact that we need somebody that has the skill. You do have the skill in what's called a squirrel suit.
How do I spell that?
Like a squirrel.
Oh, okay.
SQUIRREL.
And
There's
squirrel suit, as you may
everything.
know in the real world, are those gliding parachute outfits.
That is awesome.
Not only that, these squirrel suits include at the end a mini version of Featherfall, so you don't actually carry a parachute. You just get to the bottom and yell, Ahiba! And then your suit parachutes you in.
Okay.
So, did you get the command word?
Hmm?
Did you get the command word? Because you have to remember that part. Without it, you're going to crash land.
Aima.
Arriba.
Aiba.
Ahiba.
Arriba.
Aiba.
Ahiba.
No.
No, Ahiba. Ahiba.
Okay.
Arriba.
Ahiba!
Ahiba.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the gnomish word for stop this damn thing.
Awesome.
Arriba.
So, yes, gnomes use it a lot more often than just for the use of the squirrel suit. So, getting used to, like, trying to get your craft to stop moving when it's drifting. Ahiba! Works a lot there, too.
Actually, Valera
Okay.
recognizes the suit. Call them glider suits.
It doesn't work like yours and is covered in fur. So, once you see it wrapped up, you won't know. Until she uses it, you won't know that's what it is, Gene.
Okay.
And even if it was, it's the size of a gnome. So, a 6-year-old
know.
child could wear it, but you forget about it.
Yeah, but that means that I could end up making something like that. I'm familiar with them.
Did you buy a case of those cans, by the way?
You mean the BS cans?
The cans of thunder, yeah.
No,
Okay,
I
just
didn't
curious.
buy anything.
Okay, just curious. All right, we are now into day 2, heading down. Roll again for the d6 for wind, but you're only gonna. I only need to know if it's high or low.
Hi.
It's high, okay. And now roll a d6 for me.
D6, go. Activate. D6, Mothra. Okay, give me a second. Sorry.
Nice. What?
2 heads.
A 2?
Yep.
Okay, so now the wind has shifted slightly to the right and is blowing straight south. This is a bit of a boon for you because it allows you guys to travel a little bit faster heading southward. So you'll pick up that extra day that you lost leaving yesterday. As you're passing through this area to the right, you can see the massive number of gulls that fly along the coast here in this area. You're within 15, 20 miles of the coast, and the birds will
Do
actually
they
come
make the
inland.
same sounds? The cry of a seagull?
Yeah, they're just seagulls. Yeah.
All right, I want to try it again, John. I want to make sure this beautiful sailing of roses, flowery, colory goodness
Okay.
continues.
Orange
Well, it only
poppy.
worked for the first hour, so this is
Oh,
so first hour of the morning. You're trying it again.
yeah.
Okay.
Bring me love, baby, great now, baby, right now. 67.
67. Now I gotta go check the chart.
It rings down colored dye.
Hey, don't. Yeah, all right. Oh, yeah, but it's only gonna paint you though.
But I'm
No,
in the
it's
ship. It falls
boats.
down.
No,
It
you're
came-
going to get you're going to give Valara her first real sleep for a long time. You actually accidentally enlarge your vessel.
Yes.
So for an hour, the boat's normal size. The poor gnomes can't run anything, and the boat kind of drifts for a little while they're trying to regain control. But you guys are enlarged and can actually really enjoy the
We
size
have
of
a
the
big
vessel.
problem. The enlarge includes the weight, and the weight is quadrupled.
Yes, but
Yeah, but still boat.
So is the volume of the balloon above you.
Ah,
I'm here.
okay. I'm glad you're here.
The difference,
Valeria,
however, though, is that which increases faster, the weight and density of the wood, or the lift produced by the gas up above.
Good point. I would say you're going to get a wonderful uptick and then a downtick because it's going to get larger, move up, start to move up, but then the boat's mass will catch up with it and drag you down. So you're going to get a bit of a whoop-de-doo. For that basis alone, go ahead and make everybody make a deck save. Hart, you
Yes.
get an advantage on it because of your mass, because you will stay with the ship more likely, whereas they.
Oh. Give me a second.
A dex save?
Mm-hmm.
11.
I got a 2.
a 39.
And that was with advantage. You got 11.
What?
Oh,
You got a 39?
wait a minute. I thought you said roll percentage or
No,
D20.
just a deck save.
Oh. Uh,
Good God, a 39.
no, no,
That's
no,
almost
no.
as bad as 108 health points.
It is.
Oh, I lost my D20. Oh, there it is. I got a 2, so wait, you said I can get.
I heard. Just a minute. We'll get to this. I'm just getting everybody else's rolls.
Alright.
So your 11 was with advantage.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I didn't.
re-roll.
Okay, then 19 was the 19 plus 3. So that's 22.
Yeah, you're fine.
22.
Oh, yeah, 19 now.
Okay. Both of you are fine. The very spellcaster who's standing by the aft, I can totally see why this would happen too. At the aft of the vessel, as he casts the spell expecting flowers and rainbows to burst out of the back of it, instead the nose of the ship bucks upward from the lift. He gets tossed over backwards. Shiro gets to show her worth because she sees him going and she realizes the only way that somebody can get to him is with the squirrel suit.
Yeah.
So
Shiro's in the game now?
Shiro's in the game while you were gone.
Yay!
Yay!
So
I can't.
She
Oh, wait.
pulls the strip on her squirrel cloak and leaps overboard, dragging the long tail behind her. And she leaps off of it. And so on her way down, she looks just like a flying squirrel.
Sweet.
And of course, she'll catch the plummeting. Now all she do is make a deck save to grab her on the way down.
Well, actually, don't I have a reaction of Feather Fall?
Yes, but if you cast it too soon, you'll die.
Oh, if I cast it too soon. Oh.
Yeah, because you can fall slowly for a little bit and then plummet the rest. So let her drag you down far enough, because she can't land with you, because she has to use her command
I
word
got
to land.
10 plus. I think I have a deck. So 13.
So is she a squirrel sec-gen or a gnome with a squirrel something or
She's
other?
a gnome with a squirrel suit.
Ah,
She's a gnome artificer, and so I granted her that she's worked on a ship before and knows how to use their escape device, which is the squirrel suit.
okay.
All right,
So-
so she has to make the grab, so go ahead and make an attack roll to grab him on a grapple. I'll give it to you with advantage because you got two hands to try to grab him as he go by.
I got a nat 20.
Okay, you latched
you
onto him
got
like an angry squirrel onto his back. Rah! He panics for she panics for a second as she's grabbed from behind, but then she feels herself slowing because of the merits of the suit. It's not going to help much because it's only the tail that's causing drag at this point because the fins that would be underneath your arms are now wrapped around Freya instead. So you're now dangling and falling fairly precipitously fast. Freya did mention that she can cast Featherfall though. So you just have to get her down to within range and then let go. So now we go for the let go roll. So that'd be a dex save again for Freya and a d20 roll for Shiro.
Can I add something, please?
What would you
Sure.
add?
I want to add color smoke behind us.
Even as you fall, you wish to use wild magic first. That is a sacrifice that a wild mage would make. Therefore, go ahead and use that as the byproduct if you succeed with the spell. So go ahead and roll the d20 first, the deck save first.
If
Okay.
not, it will be a red spell only.
For my deck save, it's 21.
16
Oh yeah,
plus
you
3
expertly
would be
you
19.
expertly drop him in the right range for him to be able to use a spell. And now all you have to do is cry out your command word to land properly.
Ahiba?
When you say it that way, it doesn't trigger. Try again.
I don't like yelling.
It's okay. It's a role play game. We're all role players. It's okay. One time. Come on, do it. Just for the fun of it. Unless you want to take the
Really
plummet
don't-
damage.
I really don't like yelling. I'm sorry.
Okay, so you'll take it. Okay, so roll a d20.
Wait a minute. She's in my range. I can just yell. I feather fall with her.
You
No,
don't know the word.
You don't know her command word.
No, but I can feather fall up to 5 people.
Oh,
Okay,
good.
so actually, she gets down there in her suit. She goes, I can do this, and then on the way down, she's going, I can't do this, I can't do this. And so then you cast your feather fall. Let's see you make your success.
Wait, why
Yeah, so
couldn't you?
I did a 16 on my roll.
Okay.
Plus 3 would be 19.
Okay. So
now my magic-
despite the fact that you can actually see the little squirrel like folding her arms in, preparing for impact, and as you feather fall, she drifts down and lands gently on the ground, all balled up because she's like, it didn't work. My spell didn't work.
Wait, what about the smoke? The color smoke.
Oh, the smoke! You got it. You got the whole beautiful.
Good, that marks
Oh.
where you are, and we can have the ship brought around and drop.
Yep.
If it's clear land,
Yes.
not- we can drop a rope and get
Yeah,
down.
but the
and,
ship was going through trauma at that instant. It was going up and then going down, so it'll be a round or so. You have to circle back around. So
yeah, I understand totally.
okay.
I see how we're gonna work together quite nicely.
Yeah, she
Let's
did
do
say
this again.
she did technically save your life by getting you down to the right range to use your spells. So you can.
Well, what
consider-
is she gonna do the next time she wants to use the suit and can't say the command word?
She'll get braver.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of it's just one word out in
Forget being
It's not
you.
like anybody not like anybody knows who she is. So it's a big deal.
Look at the other part of it is
It's cute to me. I think it's really cute that she didn't quite
Yeah.
pull it off. And I don't want to scream, don't want to holler. I get it, but gnomes are enthusiastic about the use of that suit, mainly because they're terrified, and it's easier to scream than to not. So
Yes.
the fact that you couldn't was really funny. That's what made that hysterical. So
for him, not for you, because you would have taken a whale of damage.
Yeah.
yeah, but he was there to save her. So Shiro the hero and Freya the I don't know, but it can't make anything rhyme with that. The hero. So.
Shiro the Shy
Freya the reckless.
and Frey the Cray.
Is it
I like
cray-cray?
reckless. Yeah, Cray is good too.
Freya the Crazy.
All right, so the ship spins back around now that they've figured out how to get in control of it, and you guys are on the ground near one of the farmhouses. You can see a small plume of smoke rising from the farmhouse's roof, and its chimney in particular, so that it's not.
Can
like
someone
anything on
catch me
fire.
up? What's the farmhouse? What?
Oh, you just were passing over grassland like yesterday. I mean, the hills, and he went to the back of the ship. Yesterday, it successfully cast a rainbow of flowers and light down upon the people behind you, and he really enjoyed doing that. So he tried to do it again today, and didn't roll so well. So,
Wild magic.
yep.
Yeah.
But he
Hey
did.
man, it came out pretty well. I say.
So how many days have we been going?
This is day 2.
Okay.
And so you go back and pick them up, and nobody's any the wiser for it, other than the amount of time that it took.
Yeah.
The farmhouse didn't even seem to respond to it, more than likely because the feather fall would have kept you guys from making any real noise as you crashed through the trees.
Ooh,
Other
bring,
than the smoke and the
if any. Oh no, there's not a time for fruit
can I
unless
add
it's
something to
orange
the
tree.
smoke, even though it's already too late?
No.
Okay.
Can't go back that far. You've been rescued.
At
Yeah,
higher level, your wild mage could do that kind of thing and go back a few seconds. That'll be terrifying.
Ooh.
Alrighty, so they lower down the ropes and let you guys climb back up. Shiro, to protect your honor, if you want, you can ask him to not remind anybody that you didn't successfully land, or you can just.
Her.
I'm sorry, she.
Yeah, she stands there tapping her index fingers, going, if you
Yeah.
if you don't mind not talking about this, that'd be great.
How about we do the same, both? I
Awesome.
get off.
Yeah.
We talk
Thanks.
together.
Good. There we go. I'll always leap off as long as you always remember to cast Featherfall to include me. Right?
Hart rolls his whole head.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right, so we're
Ray,
now.
I think you're going to have to do the same for all of us because I see no parachutes on this place. And all these guys have those.
Not all of us.
Hart,
Not
No.
all
Hart
of
will
us.
take some time to teach them how to climb
fly.
down with style.
You show them how to fly. You show them how to. Yes, yeah.
Fall with style.
Fall with style,
yeah,
right? Exactly.
follow style.
Yeah, that's what I do.
He's done a fine job of it. As much as what 2 stories at one time?
More than that, it was.
Yeah, but you use the side walls to kind of go from one
Yeah.
wall to the
Yeah,
No,
next.
I did not. I did that not willingly.
Yeah,
Yeah, you fell down.
He was dragging. He was scratching against the wall, wasn't he?
No, I didn't. I just
I
jumped
know.
off.
I know. It wasn't you were trying. I said you did. You scraped against the wall, and that did slow you down somewhat, but it was not by your intention. Alrighty, day 3. One more time with the D6. This is for wind, Travis, not for landing monsters. 1. Okay, no change. Therefore, the wind is still from the north. So now it's going to be diagonal to your course since you're going to be turning slightly southward. But you did pick up an extra half a day's movement yesterday, so you are now entering the 3rd hex. This is the one just north of the sands. From here you can see that the sand hexes below you stretch to the shoreline. It's like a mini desert right next to the ocean. Seems kind of odd for that to be the combination, but there also seems to be some kind of stone barrier that only crops up periodically in your vision on the southern edge of those trees.
Okay.
Could you define that in more detail?
Sure, it's individual obelisks, maybe 7 to 10 feet tall, that crop up out of the underbrush, and are about a quarter of a mile between them, and they seem to be creating some kind of a barrier beyond which living things don't seem to grow in the sands beyond.
Oh, poor baby.
Good, because I was thinking that was appearing in the water, and then one after another. The front one, yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, the three yellowish ones are sand. So you're
Okay.
far from the water. You're more than 50 miles from the water.
I'm just checking. Not that I'm worried or anything.
No, I know you're not.
I'm completely fine. I'm ready. Let's go to the beach.
Yeah, exactly.
Beach party.
Ha ha ha! I know where you're going. You're gonna sing it. I know you are. No,
No.
no, you won't.
I wanna sing and dance. I wanna sing and dance. I wanna be a pirate in the Pirates of Penzance. I wanna wear my buckled slippers and my tight shiny pants. I wanna sing and dance.
Nice.
Such a good daddy.
Alrighty, so you come to the place at the edge of that hex at the end of the day, where you can see that the stone obelisk line continues into the mountains ahead of you, to the right, and to your left, and then to the right you could actually pass over the mountains itself. But you're either going to have to cross that sandy no man's land or pass over the rougher terrain of the mountains.
I'm gonna ask one of the. So, is our crew all gnomes?
Yes.
Hart's gonna ask one of the gnomes. Is there like a captainish navigator gnome?
There is.
He's gonna ask him. What are those pylons that and the deadness?
Oh, those were placed there to ask for.
To ask for?
Yes.
To ask
If
for.
you didn't see it, you wouldn't know to ask for information.
Ah. To ask for.
I'm making a total joke.
Mm-hmm.
The sands there are the last vestiges of the sandworm reservoir. Sorry, sandworm reservation. They were once covering the entirety of Chantroa and were driven down here long ago.
Oh.
So the pylons keep them out of the other area.
Yes.
Used to.
They still would if there were any worms left, but nobody thinks the worms really exist. They must have been a myth. No one's ever seen them, at least not in the last 126 years.
Okay. But how were they described?
Sandworms.
Okay.
You know
How
what
big?
a purple worm is? Only bigger.
Spice must flow.
The end, their mouth.
Yes.
What were
A ring of teeth. 18 layers deep, at least.
Son of a. This.
Moadib.
Yes, you'll find many cultural references on Nycos. What can I say?
Oh, I'm game for it. I want some spice now. I want to get some blue ass eyes.
Yeah, no kidding. As a machine.
Didn't you make your eyes blue? Already?
Yes, he already
Not
has.
for this character, obviously.
You did
No,
make this character
it-
eyes blue for one scene earlier in this game.
I can make they're RPG. I can make it an RPG eye hit.
Yes.
Okay. Fine.
It starts going
You-
rainbows for a second and then goes back to green.
Picture yourself on a boat on the river.
Just
Well,
around
Larry,
the
you
river
were
bend. Who's
sorry,
Valer?
Blue Eyes?
The robot comes close to. He answers quite clearly. The robot with kaleidoscope eyes.
I've got a secret. I've been hiding under my skin.
Exactly.
My heart is human. My blood is boiling. My brain IBM. And if you see me acting strangely, don't be surprised. I'm just a man who needed someone and somewhere to hide
Somewhere to
keep
hide.
me to keep me alive. To keep me alive.
Nice. All right. So crossing
Somewhere
the sands,
to hide.
crossing over the sands, or are we going to go through the mountains?
Let's cross over the sands. There's no worms left, right?
That's the theory.
Like, don't we fly high enough not to get involved with them?
No, let's go down. I want
Our
to.
balloon is only set to a certain elevation, and because of the antics of yesterday getting bigger and smaller, we're operating at about 50 to 65 feet off the deck.
Then let's avoid. Oh, but then how are you going to go over the mountain just to all you can get is 65 feet?
AGL, sweetheart, above ground level. The balloon density will keep you above the ground at a static height above the ground. It only gets affected a little bit by barometric pressure.
Yeah.
What are we using to keep us afloat? What's in the balloon?
Magic. Black powder.
Oh, okay.
Black powder, gunpowder?
Black powder.
She goes
Well,
to heart. Heart, what's black powder?
You know what black powder is? It's one of the forms of free magic.
Okay.
It's what was in your gun, sort of.
Down the barrel. Remember, that was expended materials.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, would his melting down or reforming of the glaives produce black powder?
It does. But your current structure, using it inside of your big blue box, wouldn't allow for...
Well, I'm not in the blue box yet.
Okay, so yes.
'Cause-
Yes, as a matter of fact, the gnomes would be very interested in putting a collector above your process, since your process is self-contained.
Yeah, that's fine.
It makes you look like you're wearing a funnel on your head.
Heart helps.
Get the Tin Man reference? You get to wear the funnel hat.
Oil.
I mean, or
Slide some oil to me. Let it trickle down my side.
You know who that singer was? Nipsey
Oh,
Russell.
you said it earlier.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if you remembered. It was Nipsey Russell. No, I didn't name him. I just made the other character. I didn't name who he was when I was reading.
Oh.
But,
Do
but I
you,
have
does
one.
anyone remember what the name of his wife was?
I don't.
Teeny. Teeny. Remember he starts
Yes.
saying it and
Yes.
he starts crying and the
And
word,
yes.
it just squirts out of his eyes.
Yes. It's very funny. Alrighty. So crossing over the sands. Valara had already given us her ritual. And
Oh,
I was thinking that we had a fiddler on board, but that was the other ship, wasn't it? That was the other
Yeah.
other ship.
Yep.
Wow, that's what I
do
get for
this
playing
again?
2 different games in the same day. That's that. It's like
I checked the roof.
yeah, exactly.
all right. Let's do this, guys.
Well, no, since there's no sound and you guys are going by airship, as long as you go soundlessly over it, you will see movement in the sands under the surface. So
Well, there is like a rhythmic beating of Hart's hammer. You know, the womp,
More than that,
womp,
the
womp, womp,
the propeller does
oh yeah,
that
plus,
too.
plus the gnomish engine would also be a tick-tock, be a
Someone?
clockwork thing. So yes,
John,
tick
Is it
tock,
the next
whir,
day?
whir,
yeah,
down,
this is the next
down.
day.
may I?
Sure, I don't care.
Hold, you might want to hold on to it for a minute.
Okay.
We might be getting company.
Are we getting company?
Womp,
Just wait.
Womp, 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 womp. Sure, let's go ahead and make our first. Let's see how well John's dice are doing today. The last few sessions I've been absolutely pitiful on the die rolling, so let's see how well I can do today. Get my dice out here.
The spice must flow.
Nice.
Does anyone remember the sci-fi miniseries like Children of the Doom?
I've
Of
read
Dune?
the miniseries? It was based on
Yeah.
it was based on the second book. Yeah, I've read it.
Right. One of the coolest things they added was like the son, like puts his
Neato.
arm in the sand of like the baby worms and becomes like a worm thing.
He is. That's the whole point of the second
Leto.
story.
Yeah, it's been so long since I watched it.
Duke Leto Atreides.
Was the father.
No, yeah, Duke Leto, and then. Wow, I got a lot better this time. You guys see the ground moving underneath you, and a hole opens up, and the hole is full of teeth. And I rolled a 16, so it bites onto the keel, the rigging down below the ship.
Uh-oh.
Urgh. Of course, its mass is such that it will start to pull the ship downward.
Oh no.
What are you guys going to
Wild
do?
magic, save us!
Wild magic, save us. That's always a choice. Go ahead.
I got a 7. Nice. I don't know what it does, but I got a 7.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's the multi-armed ladies again. That would be nice. That would be a mashup right there.
Yeah, wouldn't that be kind of crazy?
Yeah, but we needed a fire to protect us from the ladies too.
While you're figuring out that, I'm going to elucidate my plan,
Sure.
which is to take one of the glaives, hit it with my blowtorch until it's white hot, and then throw it
Cool.
right down the throat.
Well, it's not going to be right down the throat because the mouth is closed on the bottom of the ship, but it'd be right down the side of it.
It'll find a way.
Yes. So it'll take you your item interaction and your movement in order to accomplish the first two. So go ahead and make the throw.
Let us fly. Thou hast always served me well. Fly straight into Black Arrow.
Throw
I'm going
his
to use my
mouth-
name tag.
Okay. Okay, so for Shiro's benefit, in the game, at any time, if you need to re-roll a dice, you can do it once per game, and when you do, you just put a question mark after your name on the screen so that it shows that you've used it. This is to emulate what happens at our tabletop games when they actually put up a table tent, and then when they utilize it, they fold it down so you can't see their name any longer.
The name tag.
What would I add for this?
Well, it's
It's
a
like a improvised weapon.
improvised weapon dex throw. Yeah, so it's a dex attack.
Okay, so no proficiency, so just +3 for dex.
Mhm.
So it's a 19.
Oh, nice. The blade will just slide down it like through butter because it's white hot. So for probably 6 or 8 feet of its length, you've cut it. So go ahead and roll a extra d6 of flame damage on top of your regular glaive damage.
What is a glaive's damage?
Glaive
I've never
is a,
used one.
Glaive's a d10.
Okay. D10.
And it's magical at least.
Oh, I got a 10 plus a D6. I got a 4.
So 14.
Do I add anything else?
Yep, you add the +3 of the magic.
So 14 plus 3 is 17.
So
Those
17
are +3.
Yes, you have war fighting weapons, Gene.
I
You
really
have
want one of these.
this stuff would have made a difference in a battle someplace.
It still may make a difference in a battle.
Not
It
if
just
somebody
did.
has it. Yeah.
On our side, I was thinking.
All right. So
Can't happen because no one's on our side.
all right.
Good people are on our side. You're good people. We would pick the good side.
Alrighty. So Gene, your action.
She doesn't want to lose one of those arrows. She uses a regular arrow
Okay.
and she leans out. Well,
It's a
I don't
giant
know.
worm. It might be time. Remember, Hart could fashion you more arrows.
Okay. She takes out the foot bow. She finds a place to rig herself so she can use the foot bow.
And all you do is strap yourself to the hull and leap over, so you're hanging on the side of the boat. Ropes holding you
Okay.
in place.
She does have a climbing harness.
That's fine.
She
There you go.
rigs it with her cord and belays it securely on the other end.
That's fine. And then you leap over the edge and hanging down from the ship, you put the bow to your feet, pull back,
And go.
Okay.
Boom.
roll to hit.
Terrified to find out what I did, but also
That's
happy.
a 16 plus 3 plus my strength 2
Mm-hmm.
with that bow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's 3. So that's +6. So 16 plus 6.
You definitely hit.
Okay. The damage is a D10 on that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. I gotta get.
Do you add your strength to hit?
Yes. That bow specifically, because that's all in the leg strength.
That's without it being a strength bow.
No, that is built specifically as a strength bow. The foot bows are all
That's
made
a
that way.
D10. Where's my there. That is an 8 plus 3 plus 3.
14 went damage. So between you, you've done 30 plus damage to the thing. Nicely
Yeah.
done. Nicely done.
Okay.
All right, Shiro.
Huh?
What's your action?
Um,
You see a worm big enough that could swallow you and the entire crew whole.
The whole ship whole.
Well, no,
It's
it's not.
grabbing the bottom of the
It's
ship.
grabbing the it grabbed the keel of the ship and was trying to drag you down.
I run inside the ship.
Okay. So she's hiding.
Yeah.
She ran inside the chambers inside the vessel. Okay.
Are there teeth poking through?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, now it's going to attempt to make. It's going to attempt to go further now. So yes, let me see if it's how its attack goes round 2. Da, 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 da. Yes. Well, as you go in, you feel a bit of pressure release because the aircraft starts to gain some elevation immediately because the worm let go of its ring of teeth and leaps forward and bites a second time, and now you see the teeth coming in the sides of both sides of the ship.
Oh joy.
You can hear the timbers splintering, and several crewmen are shouting. They're pelting it with rocks from above, and they're trying to get the crossbow to aim at the body of the serpent, but it's the worm is under the earth, so it's kind of hard to hit it there. You also feel the sharp downward pull as the thing drags you downwards towards the ground by one more undulation of its body. It'll be 2 more before it actually gets the boat down to the surface. So you got basically 3 rounds to get free of this thing. Back to the top of the order. We go back to um,
You never
Freya.
said what Freya's magic did.
I know. I'm waiting for Freya's next action based on what the effect was. I have to wait till whatever she says next matters. So Frey, what is your action this round?
My action is to shock the creature, if possible, to let go or no, no. Oh man, paralyzed. Shock, paralyzed.
So what are you saying? I didn't hear any of that. And it didn't sound like a full sentence. I need to know what you're doing.
I am trying to paralyze the jaw of the fish.
So it
It's
keeps holding
blocking.
on?
So it keeps holding on.
So it can't hold on.
No,
Yes,
that's
it-
not what paralyze would do. Would lock up the muscles.
Oh.
You got to think this
Shock
through.
was the right
Okay.
answer.
So that was
Shock then. I will try to shock. I'm trying to shock him.
okay. I'm going to take both of those because he did kind of jumble all of it together, and this is wild magic. So you are going to get to shock it, but in the shock you're going to paralyze it. So it's like hitting it with 220 volts instead of 115. Hit it with 115, it'll jerk back. Hit it with 100. Hit it with 200, the muscles freeze. So go ahead and roll. Let's see, that would be
As long as it doesn't cause the muscles to constrict and crush us, that would be good.
6d6.
66.
Yes.
Damn.
Not 60d6?
Not. Oh, very nice. Ha ha. If you can make it a laugh now, I'll remember that. So okay.
I
Heart-
think that's worthy of a
Heart,
7 on wild magic.
Hart is holding his action. He's preparing another glaive, but this one is going to wait until it releases to try to grab hold again. It's going straight down the bullseye. If it survives this onslaught, I suppose.
16 damage.
Woo. That's as good as your party members, at least. You did it the hard way, man. That's a lot of dice to only get 16 points. All right.
You rolled 66?
66.
Yep.
66. Yeah. I got like 3 ones.
Oh.
That would
Wow.
do it.
Wild magic!
Yeah, well, go wild magic. All right. Now roll percentage dice for this round, because that was the effect of last round.
Yeah.
No, just roll another roll another 6d6, because what it says is the next thing the person attempts to do will have twice the effect. So
Ooh.
Throw shock again.
5, 6, 7. $20, 23.
23. Oh, that thing is hurting bad. It's not its action yet, so can't withdraw. Freya's done. Next would be Valara's action.
Okay, Lamar takes another shot. I have a captive audience. I roll.
Aren't we all?
Just a moment, I need to put my eyes
Is
on.
this another football shot or is another just a regular
Football shot.
Okay.
It's my best ranged weapon.
Yep.
18 plus 6
That
is
hits.
24.
You hit.
Okay. D10 plus 6. Oh, yeah, that's not a magic bow. Ooh, that's a 10 plus 6, 16 points of damage.
Nice. Heart.
No, the dice were nice.
Hart is holding his action to launch this glaive down its throat when it opens its mouth next.
Nice. Nice. And our industrious gnome Shiro in your quarters, teeth sticking through the walls. What do you do?
I take out my hammer and I smash its teeth.
Nice. Roll to hit.
Give him a toothache.
This was her plan the whole time. She was going down here to hit it in the teeth. I knew that was her plan.
12 plus my intelligence, right?
No,
No.
you're using fighting skill, so it's either going to be strength or If
Dex.
it was yeah, but it's gonna be strength because it's not a
Okay. So
finesse
it's
weapon.
Well, she's using a
14.
hammer. Technically, she is proficient with hammer usage
I am
Right. So
as
therefore
an
it's a
artificer.
yeah. So you would get proficiency bonus and D6.
14.
Pl-
So it would be 16 to hit.
No, you
Plus 2
hit. You hit.
for,
That
with
included the plus 2.
proficiency.
That included
And
plus 2.
then it's 1d4 plus my strength, which
Right.
is 3. So it
Nice.
would be 5.
Ow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yay.
The good news is part of the tooth will break off, so you'll have a memento. How's that? That works.
Yay. That would be
Yeah.
awesome.
You can say sandworm tooth, part of a sandworm tooth, through the boards on the side of the ship.
You can still
was
smell
in
the
its mouth.
spice.
Okay. So as it releases, because now it's actually going to, it realizes that it needs to question its life choices in terms of this fight. So it's going to attempt to dive back to the ground, which means it has to open its mouth, which gives Hart his chance because he had a called shot held off.
A non-nat 20.
Nice, right down its gullet.
Away!
Finish this bitch! Sorry.
7 plus. What was I adding? Plus 3. Plus 3.
Plus
So
4?
13.
Yeah.
Is that right?
So as
No,
the,
plus the d6.
no, it doesn't get the D6 for fire because you didn't forge it too, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, you did the same thing again. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So mark
More
off.
than that,
Plus
it's such a
5. So
huge target. Their maw
18.
opens up as big as a ship.
No, I get that. But mark off the two halberds that you threw because
Yep.
they're gone. And as the creature turns to dive, the halberd in the throat gets it, and when it hits the ground, it does not try to dive at all. As a matter of fact, it splatters. If you've seen the scene in
Tremors.
yes, in Tremors when the graboid misses and shoots out of that tunnel and splatters, that's
That effect.
Should we harvest pieces?
Yes!
Travis. Are you going to plant a great red herring here?
No, sure. -2. -8 for the horses.
Oh, look at the time. It's 9:50. We'll use the last 10 minutes for you guys to harvest the body. So we'll do that instead of doing whatever. So you guys anchor above it and go ahead and salvage what you can from it.
Can I please say that those halberds are destroyed or lost forever?
I was going to say they were gone forever, but if you were trying to salvage them, you might find them. That's what
I don't want them to be there. He will gently shove them in some of the ichor and
No.
leave them hidden for another
One
day.
of us might
If you-
find.
that's
We
what I'm
have
saying.
3,000, damn it. Let me lose
Technically,
two
you
of
have
them.
2,998.
A +3
Yes.
weapon and you want to lose it? No.
Yes, I do, Gene.
Well,
That's-
you might not
Okay,
get
Travis,
control of it.
this is why I said you open the can of red herring here. So, okay, they go back to get it. You try your might to not find them, and she will delve through it because she knows they're down there.
And I
Yay! We got
my
our
arrows.
halberds back!
Yeah, not only
Good
that,
job!
not only that, in defense of it, it's actually a wise thing because she needed to find those two hallowed arrows of hers because she doesn't have very many for the foot bow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome, Travis. You're welcome. I thought that would be a nice, fair, tit for tat.
Fine.
goose for gander.
Hart's going to try to find one then.
Fine.
And if he finds one, he's going to snap it over his knee.
No, he's not. No, he's not. But he is going to find because somebody roll percentage dice for me. Actually, all of you roll percentage dice.
Okay.
Yeah! Percentage dice!
67.
67,
71.
71,
95.
74.
95, 74. So 67 was the lowest.
Yeah.
You find an odd part of the creature. It seemed like an overstuffed bag laying on the ground, and when you cut it open, there's a puff of a brassy-looking powdery substance.
Brassy, powdery substance.
Mm-hmm. It smells like cinnamon.
Ooh.
Ooh.
It's the mind killer.
Be careful of that stuff.
You're big enough to just grab the bag, if you will, and wrap your hand around the cut that you made in it, so it keeps it closed, and carry the whole bag up if you want.
Yeah, I
It's kind of
take it
gruesome. It's kind of gruesome work because you've got to cut this organ from the rest of the creature's innards. But she'll come walking back with this bag over her shoulder.
Yeah.
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 Look what I
I
found.
take it to the kitchen.
Oh, good.
Oh no.
Oh no, no.
Oh, great.
Yes.
This is
Do
awesome.
I have a chance to see her carrying that bag?
You saw her carrying. Okay, all of
If
you are
I
now there-
can't stop you from getting the halberd, you
Right.
can't stop her from spicing us
Exactly.
the hell up.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
I don't want to be spiced up.
And he didn't
I don't want you
halberds
to have the
back.
halberds found. 3,000, Gene.
He loves you 3,000, Gene. That's what he's saying. Just like
I pick up the
Three-
halberd and it's like, hey, let's bring it back. So
Snap.
we can
No, I was the one that went looking for him.
yeah, I just want to laugh.
he's
Heart
just
is the one
wanted
that
to be
bring
part of it. He wanted to steal one of your cans of thunder there. That's all he was doing. Stealing the can of thunder.
Yeah, well, you
Oh.
have plenty.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
the good news is we have one heck of a meal. We'll have a fun time next week explaining how that all happened. It's 9:52. I'm going to be cutting out of here. Shiro, you
Okay.
get 300 experience points. I think everybody else is still on benchmark, unless Freya, are you still lower level than everybody?
No, I'm at the same
No,
level as everyone else.
Gene is the lowest level.
That's right.
No,
Level are you?
I'm 6th level. No, 5th level.
Yeah, we're all 5th then.
Okay, so
Sure.
everything's fine. So we're not benchmarking yet, but Shiro does get 300, so she'll be at 2nd level. Brave,
Yay!
brave Shiro, the hero that dived without
I
knowing
don't know
what
why he's at 5th because then I'm a higher 5th because he came in well after I did. Like 600
Who?
points.
What? Who? What?
Freya came
Freya,
in,
2 weeks after.
yeah, 2 weeks
That's
after.
600
and-
points. That's all.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's,
Why are you
that's
trying to take one of my levels?
less than a quarter of a level.
I'm not taking your.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no worry about it.
Okay.
All right. I got to get out of here though. Thank you guys
Okay.
for playing. Let me go ahead and close out the stream. Thanks for watching.
Shiro,
those of
it
you
was
who are
wonderful
watching.
having you with us.
Yay!
Yes, definitely glad to have a new member of the team and of the crew. And you guys all have a great night. And
Okay.
Yep.
hope to see you all at the next stream, which will be tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Bye.